9 in dramatic fashion. A walk-off walk from Eli put them. They're finally back to their winning ways.
Man, so much happened last night. They were down 8-0 at one point, so it's the biggest comeback in Cape League history since 1981, the second biggest one all time, and easily the biggest in Wareham Gatemen history. And then on top of that, it's their first walk-off of the year. And then finally, as you mentioned, they snap a losing streak. It's storylines galore, and the vibes are unbelievable right now.
So they're looking to get back to their winning ways here and continue a streak here as the playoffs are very soon approaching. Just a couple of days from now, the one-game playoff we'll see really comes down to seeding here with these last couple of games, Kyle, huh?
Yeah, and this game's going to be important for that very sake, right? There's 2 games left, and the Gatemen are 2 games back, or pardon me, a game and a half back on Hyannis, and tied right now with Cotuit, although Cotuit does have the head-to-head. So, yeah, if they win these next couple of games, they could certainly put themselves in a position where they find themselves in the 2 or 1 spot in the West Division, and then they have home field advantage in that one-game playoff to open the postseason. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Home field advantage is on the line. Antonio Hyannis had a clutch double play in the 9th inning yesterday before the Gatemen set the stage to walk it off, and he's standing by now with Madison Walker.
Thanks, guys. I'm Madison Walker. I'm here with Antonio Hyannis. So, Tony, we had that comeback win yesterday, actually the second highest comeback win in all of CCBL history. How is the team kind of feeling coming off of that high?
Yeah, I mean, we were down like 8-0 in like the second inning, and we all just we're just having a blast out there. It all started as soon as we got to the field. It was just fun throughout the whole day. I mean, we were just stretching out, having fun, making up cool, weird dances, and honestly just playing some good baseball, and we just never gave up. We had more energy, more of them, and they had the lead, and we didn't. Yeah. So I feel like we were in good spirits that night, and we ended up getting the win. So it was really nice to see that.
And then I saw Mobs kind of encouraged you guys and put you guys aside for a talk. Do you think that he's been like really influential to all of you guys so far this summer and your guys' winning?
Oh yeah, like it didn't matter what the score was. If we were up 10-0, if he noticed that something was off about us with our energy and our effort, he would definitely come and say something to us. And we were down 8-0, and he was just proud that we would keep fighting, and he said we're still going to be in this game, and he continued to just keep on saying that, keep stacking up the good at-bats because it's going to pay off soon. Whether it's in the 3rd inning or in the 9th inning, it's going to stack up, and it actually happens. So we're all happy to see that.
Yeah. And now you're bringing that momentum in today to hopefully get another win. And I see you're all wearing your Mobism shirts. Did you guys all text about that, or we're all matching? What's going on with that?
Yeah, and our team GC, what's his name? Reese, he was just like, yo, pull up in your Mobism t-shirts for BP. And let's win this game. So we're starting something new. So yeah.
So you guys are all locked in to win this game today then?
Yeah, we're just here to set the tone. Like it didn't matter like what time we got off the bus. It didn't matter what time we got home last night. We just want to win. We want to get something going again. And we're all in good spirits, and we're not going to give up no matter what. So I'm excited to see what happens.
And so the team, really good spirits. You're all locked in. You want to go. Is Mobs going to give you guys some more word of wisdom tonight, or is he going to let you guys kind of rock with the shirts and just roll into it, you think?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really, I don't think he's going to really say much other than like we just never gave up. But, you know, he always got something to say, and we all appreciate him a lot for that because it ends up firing us all up before the game. So we're just going to listen to whatever he has to say because it's important to us, and that's our guy, and we're going to rock with him no matter what. So just give us our all, for sure, for Wareham.
That's awesome. Well, good luck tonight. Let's hopefully get another one on the board, Tony.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Madison. Yes, it'll be an interesting one between Hyannis and Wareham today. Harbor Hawks have a 3-1 season series lead over these Gatemen. They've won the last 3 in a row. They're a team that knows how to get on base, while the Gatemen really rely on the slug. How do you think it'll all pan out today?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think if the Gatemen have a better on-base approach today, it'll continue those winning ways. This is a team that has a high-power offense. They're 2nd in the league in average, Wareham is, and their slugging's top 5 in the league as well. They power a lot of homers. They lead the league in extra base hits, but they're 7th in the league in on base, and that's hard to ignore. So I think for them, if they get the walk going a little bit today like they did yesterday when they started coming back, that'll be big.
The Gatemen are badly in need of a solid starting pitching outing, and it'll be up to Darren Horn to have a bounce-back performance tonight. The right-hander out of Coastal Carolina, a former Harbor Hawk as well, so he's back on his former home turf. He only threw an inning and a third in his last start, gave up 5 earned runs, but before that, Kyle, 13 innings and just 2 earned runs allowed. He's looking to have a bounce-back start.
Yeah, and it's really good to see that he's found his form before, right? He started red hot on the season, a string of really, really good starts. That last outing just wasn't him, and it was over at Spillane. So maybe he comes to, I guess, another field that he's pretty familiar with, and maybe he looks more comfortable today.
Yep. Gatemen will be up against Aaron Majulam, a right-hander out of Michigan State. He's got an ERA over 5 in 13 innings this year. Now, Kyle, looking at this offense, we saw it just yesterday, stacking up runs as they got later into the ball game. Eli Putnam was, of course, the hero. Who is your hitter to watch?
It's boring, but I got to say Eli Putnam. He has hits in 8 of his last 10 games. He had an unbelievable July. He's found himself in the top 10 in both slugging and OPS, and he's also due for some extra base hits. It's been a couple of games. His last extra base hit was a home run he hit 3 games ago, which was the second game in a row in which he hit a home run. So he's still hitting hot and continuing that streak in August, but he hasn't hit a home run yet in August. So I think today's his day, especially with this ballpark short down the left field line.
He does have 3 of his 5 home runs this year against the Harbor Hawks, so we'll see if that all pays dividends here at McKeon Park. It's the Gatemen, it's the Harbor Hawks, and it all goes down right here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
On the mound is crazy.
There you go. And representing the game day interns, Matt Orlick. Good efforts, all 3. Nice job, guys. Congratulations to all the interns again. Thank you so much.
I can ask him. Could you play for this team?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you all please rise and remove your hats and join along in the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Karen McKeon.
Light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleam whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say just that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's Kara McKeon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much, Kara.
From McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts, it's the penultimate road game for the Wareham Gatemen in the 2024 regular season. Live on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Ethan, I'm with you alongside Kyle Marchak, our sideline reporter tonight, Madison Walker, and our producer is Joseph Patrick Henry. A beautiful Saturday evening for baseball from Hyannis. And the Gatemen find themselves finally in the win column after a dramatic performance last night at Spillane Field. Down 8-0 to the Cotuit Kettleers. They came all the way back, stormed back for the win, Kyle. 10-9 was the final.
Yeah, big one yesterday. I mean, talk about snapping out of a losing streak in a really big fashion. It was an 8-run comeback, second biggest in Cape League history, biggest in franchise history, biggest since 1981, and the list goes on. I mean, just storylines galore, as I said in the pregame show. So a lot of positive things to talk about. And really, as we've seen, that's all they really needed was to just change their mindset to something positive.
Absolutely. The Gatemen snapping a 5-game losing streak in dramatic fashion as they go on the road to face a tough Hyannis Harborhawks team that has risen to the top of the Cape League West Division. That's where they stand at 22-14-2, and the Gatemen checking in third at 21-16-1. And with just one more regular season game on hand tomorrow at Falmouth, or against Falmouth at home, all that matters now is the playoff seeding. Will the Gatemen host the playoff game? We're yet to find out.
Yeah, well, we're tied with Cotuit right now in second, and having sole possession of second place is what matters. Cotuit has the advantage in the head-to-head, so effectively we're in third place, right? But it doesn't matter what the head-to-head looks like if you are higher in the points column than Cotuit. So obviously 2 games to go. If Cotuit wins out, they clinch it, but hoping that Cotuit loses one of their next 2 games, which they're riding a losing streak, it's very possible just winning tonight, putting it in your own hands will be a big part of getting that job done.
The Harborhawks tied against Bourne yesterday, a 6-6 tie in 8 innings. They send Aaron Majulam to the mound, the Michigan State right-hander, coming in with an ERA just north of 5.27, 13 and a third innings. He's allowed 8 earned runs this season, and he'll face this lineup for the Wareham Gatemen. Here's how Ryan Smythe lines him up. Leading it off, the Stetson second baseman Johan Desero, Colby Turner out of Michigan in left field hitting second, Fresno State's Murph Gray back in the hot corner batting third, Jacob Gerald behind the plate in the cleanup spot out of Clemson, Tennessee's Reese Chapman fifth in right field, Davidson's Eli Putnam in the 6th hole at first base. It's UCF's Antonio Jimenez, the shortstop, 7th, Nate Early DHing batting 8th out of Louisville, and Army's Billy Parker, we salute you, in center field batting 9th. And you look up and down this order, you see a group that absolutely produced yesterday. Top to bottom, it was a group effort to dig them out of that 5-game hole.
Yeah, sure was. I mean, talk about being 8 down and then coming your way back. It was, about spreading out those hits the rest of the way. They had 9 hits in the contest. They got out-hit 18-9, but they just were all clutch. This is a team that, with their offensive woes in the second half, really struggled with guys in scoring position, but yesterday they got the hits at the right time. One
thing that the Gatemen badly need is a solid starting pitching performance. Yesterday, Cole Lehman unfortunately allowed 7 earned runs over his short start, just a couple of innings for him. They'll turn the ball over to Darren Horn, the right-hander out of Coastal Carolina, who himself a former Hyannis Harborhawk and facing Hyannis last Monday, went only an inning and a third at Spillane Field. So he's looking for a bounce-back start. We'll talk more about Darren Horn when we get to the last of the first. The starting catcher for Hyannis, Cannon Peebles, firing it down as we're set to begin baseball here from a beautiful night at McKeon Park. Sun shining on a pristinely cut infield as Yohan Desiro climbs into the left-handed box. Calling balls and strikes today, Mike Hinojosa. The first base blue is Steve Callenda, and over at third base is Matthew Newman. Hawks have the season series over the Gatemen, 3-1, so this will be their last opportunity to get one back against the orange and blue. Desiro in the left-handed box as the right-hander comes set. Emma Julam deals. Fastball up and outside, ball one underway at 6:03 here in Hyannis.
It's a shame. This is one of the few ballparks we visit just twice this year.
It is random how many road games you get against certain opponents throughout the season. Hyannis went to Wareham 3 times. Pitch driven in the air out to left field. This will send Josh Tate tracking it towards the gap. He lines it up over to his left, makes the catch. Camped underneath it for out number 1. 2 pitches and the first out from Majulam. Give you the rest of the Hyannis defense. We just saw Josh Tate in left field. Eddie Pelk in center. It's Kane Kepley in right. The infield third to first sees Michael Tatalo, Mason White, Eddie Saldivar, and Blake Cavell with Cannon Peebles behind the plate. I could say Cannon Peebles all day long.
Talk about a baseball name,
Talk about a catcher's name.
Yep.
Cannon for a first name?
It's crazy.
You got to be kidding me. Colby Turner up to bat. And the first pitch to him. Zips in there, a fastball just outside, though, 1-0. Turner in the 2-hole had one of the biggest hits in yesterday's comeback. It was a 2-run double in the 4th inning. Ryan Smythe was ejected in that 4th inning, perhaps lighting a spark under the offense as this pitch is down in the dirt, 2-0. Oh, Kyle's done his due diligence. His full name is Thomas Cannon Peebles.
I had to look it up.
Don't blame him for going with a middle name as his given name.
Yeah.
If I was given the choice, that's an easy one. 2-0 pitch. Fastball rolled over in the hole and through into left field, a base hit. Perfectly placed right between the third baseman and the shortstop. Turner aboard with the first hit of the night.
Man, is that big. Gatemen have been held hitless in the first inning for 3 straight games now. So, discontinuing that trend. Obviously, the offense overall has improved after yesterday's performance. But, showing that yesterday wasn't a fluke is big to just start things early.
In that 5-game losing skid, the Gatemen found themselves with the worst batting average, 182, and the worst ERA, 7.65 in the league in that span. Pitch to Murph Gray, slider outside, ball 1. And Murph Gray was a big part of that comeback yesterday as well, recording his first multi-hit ball game since July 20th against Bourne. Need to get him back to his hitting ways. He's a big part of the Gatemen's surge throughout July. Pitch inside, throw back to first, not in time. They really checked on Turner that time. A snap throw from Peebles. But off a loose cannon there.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
It's 2-0 to Murph Gray. Righty against righty. Actually, it's 1-1. Umpire makes the correction. But first to check on Turner. Not much of a threat to steal. He's only got a couple of bags this year. Hyannis in their orange jerseys. The blue Hyannis across the chest. Blue numbers outlined in white on the front and the backs. White pants with the blue pinstripes. The pitch is popped up. Third base side of the infield. This will back Michael Tatalo up. And now the shortstop calling him off. It's Mason White who hauls it in. Really in the third baseman's area. White handling it for out number 2. And that'll bring up Jacob Jarrell with a runner on first and 2 gone.
Just missed that. That's kind of been the story for him recently, in a little bit of a slump, you could say, although he did kind of break back out yesterday. It's just, peculiarly enough, just getting under a lot of fastballs.
Jarrell not typically found in the cleanup spot, but that's where Ryan Smythe stuck him yesterday. He repeats in that role here tonight. As the pitch comes in, one hops into the dirt. Now Turner scampering up to second. The throw from Peebles is into center field. Turner on his feet, on his way to third, and he'll get there without a throw. Misfire the cannon, and Turner winds up on third.
Yeah, I guess that's why they use that ideology or idiom about cannons being inaccurate. Luckily, proving there. And, well, the Gatemen, not the most aggressive team in the base paths, have made a prudent effort to up that in this backstretch.
Well, now the Gatemen have a runner in scoring position. Let's see if they can bring in Turner here. Just underway in the top of the first, no score. Pitch to Gerald. Fastball, top of the zone, called a strike. Gerald at the plate with Turner on third base. He had his first multi-hit game in well over a month last night. 1-1, a check swing. It's a called strike anyways. Slider at the belt. Bajulam ahead 1-2. Righty on righty. Turner several steps off of third. Pitch on the way. Gerald drives this one high and deep out to left center field. Destined for the gap. Tate going back, and he makes the catch on the run. Josh Tate hauling it in, robbing Jacob Gerald of extra bases and pulling a close to the top of the first inning. Turner stranded at third base. We're on our way. Bottom of the first coming up in a scoreless ball game from McKeon Park on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Whatever your technology needs are, Secure One can help. Learn more at securone.com. SecureWON.com.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower, the largest private property owner in eastern Massachusetts, and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and stewardship. For 170 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Attention baseball fans, are you ready to hit a financial home run? PCT Federal Credit Union is here tonight to make your dreams of home ownership and driving off in that new car a reality. Their unbeatable low rates on mortgage and auto loans are a win for everybody. Whether you're rounding the bases to buy your first home or looking to upgrade your ride, PCT Federal Credit Union has got your back. Swing by their tent before you leave or visit their website to learn more about how they can help you step up to the plate and score big on your financial goals.
The AD Makepeace Company also owns and operates Reed Custom Soils, the area's leading manufacturer of custom soils, including CU structural soil and Rooflight certified green roof media. Reed Custom Soil is also a manufacturer and distributor of baseball infield mix and conditioners. To learn more, visit www.reedcustomsoils.com.
Heading to the bottom of the first from McKeon Park in Hyannis. No score between the Harbor Hawks and the Gatemen as Darren Horn toes the rubber. For his sixth start of the season, here's the lineup he'll face, written by Mitch Carricker, the first-year skip of the Harbor Hawks. Jackson West out of Florida State leading it off. He's the DH. Josh Tate in left field out of Georgia Southern second. North Carolina's Kane Kepley in the three-hole in right field. Michael Tatalo cleans up the third baseman out of Dallas Baptist. Eddie Pelkin center. He's out of Grand Canyon batting fifth. It's the Tennessee catcher Cannon Peebles sixth. Eddie Saldivar, the second baseman, seventh out of Fresno State. Western Kentucky's Blake Cabell hitting eighth and playing first base with Arizona's Mason White in the nine-hole at shortstop. Darren Horn looking for a bounce-back outing. The right-hander out of Coastal Carolina. Into the windup, his first pitch is taken down the heart of the plate, called strike to Jackson West. Just an inning and a third, his last time out. We last saw him on Monday against these very same Hawks. As there's strike two, quickly ahead on West. Gave up 4 hits in his abbreviated outing and 5 earned runs. He walked 3. Guy who was really consistent throughout the year. 0-2 in the dirt. 1-2 now to West.
Yeah, it was one of those games where it was just completely a command issue. Obviously, they were seeing his stuff well, 4 knocks on him, but then he tried to correct it by staying outside of the zone, and then he walked a few.
Open stance in the left-handed box. The pitch is in the dirt. Scoots away from Gerald that time. It's 2-2. Don't forget, he's a guy that's recovering from a labrum injury that resulted in him missing the entire collegiate spring season. Pitch on the way. Driven out towards right, and that'll fall for a base hit. Line drive right over Desro's head at second. Leadoff knock for Jackson West here in the last of the first.
Now it's about base running management. That's what he struggled with last time. What can he do to keep these guys on the base that they're at right now? He had a whip hovering just above 1 coming into his last start. Now it's at about 1.5.
Here's Josh Tate, the left fielder out of Georgia Southern. He saw plenty of action defensively in the top of this inning. He awaits the first pitch. It's outside, ball one. Darren Horn is very familiar with McKeon Park. He played in 9 games with the Harbor Hawks last summer. 3 of those were starts. Gave up 13 earned runs in 20 innings. 23 strikeouts to just 8 walks. The pitch down, and it's 2-0. Gatemen tonight in their maroon red uniforms. The Navy Gatemen across the chest outlined in white. Blue numbers on the back as well. And the gray pants, the camo caps tonight as well. The 2-0 rolled over towards short. There's Hyannis. Underhand toss to Desro. There's the turn. Not in time. Tate beating the return throw. He's aboard on the fielder's choice, but West erased at the play at second. A very familiar double play combo that we're used to seeing now between Hyannis and Desro.
Yeah, now at this point in the season, this roster's pretty much cemented in positions. And, well, they had a double play last night. That was pretty big. But if they can't get Tate out, then no one will.
That brings up Kane Kepley, who is one of the biggest on-base threats in this Harbor Hawks order. He takes strike one at the knees. Kepley, formerly of Liberty, now committed to attend UNC Chapel Hill. Runner on first, 1 away. We're in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Horns 0-1. Taken, and it's 0-2. Couple of close takes there, but both calls going Horns' way. Kepley, an all-star who recorded the walk-off single for the West Division that won them the game. That was back at Falmouth a couple of weekends ago. 0-2 coming. It's in the dirt. Jarrow with an excellent block. Kepley just 5'8". He crowds the plate in the left-handed box, choking up on the bat with 2 strikes. Very low to the ground stance, really like a slap hitter. The 1-2. Slider just inside. Nice challenge pitch from Horn.
Well, he makes the zone small. That's for sure, and he walks a ton because of that.
Kepley's hitting just .238, but that on-base percentage boosted by 36 walks. Check on the runner at first, and Tate dives back in safely. First in the league in walks. With 36, that on-base percentage checks in 7th at .434. Another check on Tate at first. He dives back in. That's why this Harbor Hawks team as a whole is just so good at getting on base. They do have the best on-base percentage in the league. Gatemen at 7. Wind blowing out to right, the 2-2. In the dirt, nice backhand from Jarrell. Keeps that ball from getting away, but now 0-2 becomes 3-2 on Kepley. Darren Horn looking for a clean first inning of work. Right-hander deals, runner goes, and Kepley chops it foul. Heads to the backstop as one of the bat boys scampers after it. Right before this ballgame, Hyannis honoring their interns. It seemed like there were 200 of them in that line.
They had several baseball teams worth of interns, that's for sure.
Yes, they did, and they read them all off by name. Payoff pitch to Kepley again. Runner goes, a chopper to the left side. Hyannis started towards second, now goes over to field it, and the throw to first not nearly in time. Infield single for Kane Kepley. There was never a doubt with his speed.
Yep, that's a Kane Kepley hit right there. There are a couple of guys in this league who can really do that as lefties with speed and just honestly poking a ball in play. They're going to leg it out.
Tate broke for second on that pitch, and Hyannis was moving over to expect a throw. And when that chopper came his way, he had to divert his course. That made that play even tougher than it would have been otherwise. So now 2 on and 1 away. Cleanup man Michael DiTallo at the plate. Darren Horn winds and deals. And a breaking ball powered in the air, deep to right center field. Backing up on it, Billy Parker in the right center gap. He leaps, he can't get it. It's off the wall and it kicks away. Over to third goes Tate, he gets the wave around. Kepley heading for third, the throw is double clutched, and the run scores. Michael DiTallo, an RBI double, and it's 1-0 Hyannis here in the first inning.
Yeah, he got all of that one. Billy Parker, we know he can play a good center field. Had a great play yesterday, but nothing you can do about that. Short center field here, 379. But with a ball like that, I mean, it's going to be a base knock most ballparks you go to.
Michael DiTallo never gave me the chance to introduce him as a Gateman killer. He has torn up Gatemen pitching all year as the infield goes in as the first pitch inside. Ball 1 to Eddie Pelk. Left-handed hitting center fielder with an interesting spot up here. Second and third, and only one away. 1-0 Hyannis in the home half of the first. Horn set at the belt. He fires. And a chopper right back to the mound up the first base side. Horn picks it up. Glove toss to home. Gerald the tag. Safe the call. Kepley in with a head-first dive. The throw, or the toss, I should say, looked like it beat him. Gerald put the tag down, but Kepley got his hand in there. 2-0 Hawks.
It's too early in this game to have a bad call on a tag. Man, that was a nice play by Horn, and it beat him with plenty of time.
Kepley using every inch of his speed. That tapper up the first base line. Horn had just one play, glove tossing it to home. It was a very fluid play, all in one motion. Gerald applying the tag, but Kepley in there. And now here's Cannon Peebles. Runners on the corners, only one away. We're still in the home half of the first. Horn deals, and this one slapped foul down the left side. Well, this is classic Harbor Hawks offense right now that we're watching. Not a team that hits too many home runs. They've only got 19 on the year, second to last in the league. This team is the king of the single and the small ball. 0-1 rolled foul right into the Gatemen dugout. It's a different change of pace than what the Gatemen are used to. Granted, they can play in all facets of the game, but they're a team that relies on the slug.
Yeah, I mean, it's two different offenses, and we've seen this type of matchup with the Gatemen before. Another example would be Katuitt.
0-2 pitch. Outside. That one tailing away from Cannon Peebles. Pelk at first, Detallo on third. Peebles in the left-handed box with an open stance. 1-2, rolled foul up the right side. Peebles out of Tennessee. He's got that Volunteers orange helmet on. Slightly different shade of orange than the jersey he's wearing. Lefty at the plate against the righty on the mound. Here's Horn, and it's down. 2-2. Tough start for the Gatemen here. 2-0 Hawks in the home half of the first inning. Horn's had to work quite a bit. Pitch number 24 coming up next in this first inning for him. 2-2. Runner goes off for first. Gerald up with it. The throw to second rolls into the glove of Hyannis, but the tag not in time. Getting in just ahead of the tag, Eddie Pelk with a nice slide around the outside of the bag, holding his ground at third to Tallow, and that eliminates the force play at second.
That's what this team likes to do. I mean, if there's an open base, they're going to go, especially when it's first and third.
And so the infield once again in on the grass for Wareham. Second and third, only one away. And the payoff pitch to Peebles. Down for ball 4. It kicks up in front of Gerald, but Detallo will hold his ground at third base. Bases loaded, one away.
Second baseman from Fresno State, number 7, Eddie.
Now, this is not what Darren Horn was looking for. Every single Harbor Hawks batter has reached base. The only out recorded on a fielder's choice play, a put out at second. And here's Eddie Saldivar, the 7th man to bat here in the first inning. The Fresno State second baseman, hitting .214 in his first 4 games. The pitch, driven high and deep, center field. Parker tracking it towards the wall, now stumbles in, lays out and makes the catch. Comes up firing. Here is Detallo from third to tag and score. It's a sacrifice fly for Eddie Saldivar and a circus play. Now, wait a minute. Did he drop the ball in center field?
I think they did call it an out.
They did call it an out. Okay, I saw a safe sign from the third base umpire. I wasn't sure what he was referring to. It does look like, yes, the out was recorded. On the tag play. Thank you, Joe. So it is runners on the corners. Now with 2 outs, it's a 3-0 Hawks lead. Detallo scored on that sac fly. What an adventure out there for Parker.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, if you look at the wind, it's blowing out to center, so maybe he just misread it.
First pitch to Blake Cavill is in for a strike. Caught the inside part of the plate. So Horns 1 out away from getting out of this first inning. He deals. And it's outside. Now the runner, a late steal for second. Hyannis the tag, and this time they got him. Cannon Peebles out trying to swipe second. Jacob Gerald guns him down to bring a close to a hectic first inning. Hawks all over the place, and they score 3 times as we go to the top of the second. 3-0 Hyannis on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby. Located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham, call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs. Mastria Auto Group. Whether you need sales, parts, or service, call Mastria Auto Group for all your Kia, Cadillac, Mazda, VW, Subaru, and Nissan needs. Mastria delivers. www.mastria.com.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding area since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Looking to buy or sell real estate in the South Shore, South Coast, or Cape Cod area? Joanne Stevenson has been selling Massachusetts since 2000. Specializing in residential real estate, she is a part of the #1 Berkshire Hathaway Robert Paul team. Whether you are looking for your first home, vacation home, or relocating, call Joanne Stevenson, your local Wareham agent, for all your real estate needs. A proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. Top of the second inning from McKeon Park in Hyannis. The score 3-0 Harbor Hawks here as the Gatemen return to the plate. They will send Reese Chapman, Eli Putnam, and Antonio Hyannis to the dish here. A hectic first inning for Darren Horn. Hawks all over the place on just 3 hits in that frame. Couple of singles, a double as well. And stolen bases galore, just everything going right for Hyannis in that inning.
That was a Hyannis Harbor Hawks inning, that's for sure. They get on base, they steal, they cause commotion, and most of all, they just put that darn ball in play.
Well, let's see how the Gatemen react to this with some newfound momentum that they gained yesterday with that 10-9 win at home of the comeback variety and the walk-off variety against Cotuit. It's a walk-off walk from Eli Putnam with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 9th inning. We learned something very interesting about the Gatemen offense in that game. They were all fueled by one singular food, drink, whatever you want to call it. We call it a sauce around here, and it's mob sauce.
Yep, it's been such an interesting part of their culture is, their unity with the hitting coach Mike Mobbs, and this sauce that he has for lunch every day has become a focal point of it.
A green slop that he calls it. As Reese Chapman stands in, we'll talk more about that in a second. Back on the mound, Aaron Bajulam. First pitch, Chapman rolls over one first base line and foul. So Mobbs brings that so-called green slop with him for lunch every single day at the ballpark, and he'll have it. And if a hitter's struggling, he'll pick him out and give him a shot of it, as he says. And then that guy gets a hit. And it's worked every time, so he claims. It is on quite the hitting streak. But then things got so bad with that 5-game losing streak as the pitch roller to first. This one stays fair. Picked up there by Cabell. He takes to the bag himself, 1 away. Things got so bad that Mike Mobbs decided to pull out the mob sauce for the entire position player group for the Gatemen. So everyone got a taste of it yesterday, and look what happened. I mean, the results are set in stone.
Even after the first 3 innings where no one had reached base.
Yeah, at that point, the group was brought aside by Mike Mobbs, and he gave them an ultimatum. As Eli Putnam explained it to us in the postgame, as Putnam himself stands in now, shows bunt, pulls it back because there's ball 1. After that 3rd inning, when the Gatemen were down 8-0 to Cotuit, the group looked dejected, said Mike Mobbs, and he pulled his entire group aside and he gave them a choice. Get it together or go home. The 1-0 is in the dirt. Choice, you can either fight back or you can lay the bats down now and call it a day. Because the group, he said the body language was not what he'd like to see. That's his words. And he knew he couldn't stand by it, so he decided to do something about it. And luckily, his guys responded positively as Putnam drives one out towards center field, and that'll fall right in front of Eddie Pelk. A base hit here with 1 away. Second Gateman hit of the evening. Putnam aboard here with 1 away in the second.
It's a good piece of hitting right there. That's what Putnam's been doing a ton lately. Just putting that ball back up the middle.
That brings up Antonio Hyannis. So that really speaks to just how together this group is. It is just a summer squad. It is a developmental league at heart, but these Gatemen are together, and they're willing to fight for one another, and we saw that a whole lot yesterday. As Putnam takes off of first base, first pitch to Hyannis, swung on and missed, strike one.
I mean, that's summer baseball for you, especially at, the top tiers of the leagues, the Cape being the best of which. You're going to get a bunch of kids from different schools, different mentalities, working for different things, and some want to win, some don't.
Pitch is in the dirt. It scoots away from the catcher Peebles and scampering up to second Putnam. Peebles lost his glove trying to backhand that ball. Ball squirted right behind him. His glove fell out in front of the plate. So Putnam will take the extra 90 feet. He's now in scoring position with one out.
He went for a back pick, and the mitt just popped off his hand. I haven't seen that one before.
Hawks scored 3 times in the first. They lead it 3-0 here. We're in the away half of the second. As Putnam takes off of second base, Eddie Saldivar, a second baseman in the area to keep him close. Right-hander Aaron Bajulam deals, and it's fouled back to the padding behind home plate. 1-2. So that's the mentality and the culture that Ryan Smythe in his second season, along with Mike Mobbs and the other 4 coaches, have decided to bring to Wareham, and every single guy that has worn the red and blue this summer has bought in. Put him several steps off of second base. The 1-2. Breaking ball just elevated. Difficult take for Hyannis. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he was in there the whole way, and last second said no. That was a curveball starting up, breaking toward the zone, and that's kind of a 50-50 call as well.
Hyannis, the best guy on the team. He's walked the most with 19 this summer. Putnam taking off for third. The pitch outside. Throw down. The tag. And I believe he is safe. Stolen base for Eli Putnam. His 9th of the season. Takes the extra 90. And now a base hit here could drive him in. It's 3-2 to Hyannis.
Man, Matthew Newman took his time making that call.
So Putnam now at third as Hyannis digs back into the right-handed box. Mizulam with a sign from Peebles, the payoff. Tapper roller towards short, slow inside, picked up by White, throw to first in time, but Putnam scores. The Gatemen get a run back. It's 3-1 Hyannis here in the second.
Oh, that's just a great at-bat by Hyannis there. 2-strike count, run around third, adjusts and just says, all right, I'm going to put this ball in play. Stayed back in a curveball and just poked that thing towards short, got the job done, brought in a run.
The get him over, get him in mentality working to perfection that time for the Gatemen. As here's Nate Early out of Louisville. First pitch misses down and in, ball 1. Base is clear. 2 away in the away half of the second. Beautiful evening for baseball from Hyannis. The pitch swung on and missed. 1-1 to Early. DH batting 8th. Just 1 for his last 15, but he hasn't played a whole lot in the last couple of ball games. We've seen a couple of pinch hit appearances for him. The 1-1. Another chase. 1-2.
Yeah, out and early on the curveball. Tried to use his legs to kill some time, but was still well out in front of it, so he was sitting fastball there.
Early batting from the left side against the righty on the mound. Bajulam has his signs. Set at the belt, he kicks and fires, and it's high. 2-2.
A lot of off speeds this AB. That one hung way upstairs.
Wind blowing strongly out to right field. That could benefit Early. The American flag on a pole just to the left of that scoreboard in right center. 2-2. High fly ball. This one to deep right field. Bat flip in, bombs away for Nate Early. His second home run of this season. I don't think the wind needed to help that one.
That one was way out of here. Got the curveball that time, and hey, way to call that shot.
Oh, baby, Nate Early. They call him No Stride Nate. Early morning. He just said good night to that baseball. It's 3-2.
Center fielder from Army, number 5, Billy.
He heads back to the dugout. The high fives all the way around. The guy who badly needed that. And with 2 away, it's up to Billy Parker. 410 feet. 98 off the bat for Mr. Nate Early.
Yeah, that was crushed.
So here's Billy Parker, who tries to lay down the surprise bunt. It rolls foul up the third base line. When you get production from the bottom of the order, that does signal good things. We've seen it time and time again, especially in that first half when the Gatemen were oh so dominant. At the height of their powers, the entire lineup producing night after night. We saw that yesterday with Billy Parker, who homered in his first Cape League start. His second game, tonight his third. The pitch, swing and a miss out in front of the breaking ball. It's 0-2. The Army product got the start in center field. He made a great diving catch. He drove in a couple of runs, and he helped create that comeback.
Yeah, what a big addition. This roster down the home stretch just needing another bat.
0-2 to Parker. He chased. Strike 3 swinging. He's out number 3, but Nate Early adding on his second home run of the season. Also an RBI ground out for Antonio Hyannis to score Putnam. Gatemen respond well to get a couple back. Hyannis still with a 3-2 lead heading to the last of the second on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off in 2024. And our first guest, as we get to know you, is Tony Pluta, a right-handed pitcher out of Arizona. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Tony. Well, you're from Chicago, so what brought you out west to Arizona?
So my recruiting coordinator at Arizona knew my high school coach really well and knows that whole area very well. So it's just kind of how I got connected with them.
Gotcha. So they reached out to you in high school. You told me you topped out at 95 in high school, so pretty easy to get noticed?
Yeah, that definitely helps. But, you know, going all the tournaments and all that kind of thing helps.
Okay, well, on top of that, you've developed some accolades in your short career in college baseball so far. You were in the Northwoods last year, and then college ball treated you well in 2024. Your spring was pretty fun. How about that Pac-12 championship? What was that like?
It was amazing, especially being the last Pac-12 championship. It was an awesome feeling to win the last Pac-12 game ever.
Yeah, and then Brennan Summerhill, your Gateman teammate, hit the walk-off. So is it cool to share that moment with your summer teammate as well?
Oh yeah, it's great. Every moment with Summer is something special, so it's great to have a teammate like that.
Speaking of summer, you've been to a lot of different baseball destinations. This is kind of your first one for an extended period of time out east. Where does Wareham rank all time?
It's pretty great. I mean, the Northwoods was definitely its own thing, but I love Wareham. It's a great spot to be.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. We made it to home plate, so my final question for you, what's the goal this summer?
Just pitch well, throw strikes, and get guys out.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Kyle.
That's our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. We'll catch you guys next week.
Back to action here from Hyannis. The first pitch to Blake Cavell is outside, ball 1. 3-2 Harper Hawks here in the home half of the second inning. The Gatemen found themselves a couple of runs in the previous half inning to get right back in it after going down 3-0 in the first. A swing and a miss, 1-1 on Cavell. An RBI for Antonio Jimenez on a ground out. Eli Putnam came in to score before a 410-foot bomb from Nate Early. Pitch just below the knees, 2-1 to Cavell. It was a deep drive, 410 feet to right field. His second home run of the season, and coincidentally, Kyle, his second RBI. He's driven him himself twice. Outside, 3-1.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre that, you know, both times that he's hit a homer, it's just been him and no other runs batted in.
Cavell gets into this one, high and deep to center field. Parker chasing it back to the wall in left center, and that ball disappears into the trees. Solo home run for Blake Cavell here to start off the second inning. His second home run of the season for Hyannis, and they extend the lead to 4-2.
Well, just 379 to center, and that one barely snuck over the wall.
It was a wall scraper. Parker had no chance to leap up and grab it, though, and the tall trees and the bushes lining foul pole to foul pole here at McKeon Park in Hyannis ate that one up. First pitch, a called strike to Mason White, 9-hole hitting shortstop out of Arizona. So not the start to the second inning that Darren Horn was looking for. Pitch outside, 1-1. Horn had a rough first inning. Faced 7 batters, allowed 6 of them to reach. The pitch belt high, called a strike, 1-2. Allowed 3 runs to score. A lot of small ball, a lot of slap singles in that frame by Hyannis. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on White. And there's the quick first out he needed.
That's the first time that he's had a batter not put a ball in play aside the walk that he allowed.
Singles in that first inning for Jackson West, who bats now, as well as Kane Kepley, Michael DiTallo doubling home the game's first run. There's a called strike, top of the zone to West. Eddie Pelk rolled into a fielder's choice. It was a play at the plate where Horn glove flipped it, the pitcher to the catcher. 0-1. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. That's a tough one there for Horn. It's 1-1. That fielder's choice brought home Kane Kepley. Now time called here at the plate by West. He digs back into the left-handed box. Here's the 1-1. Ankle high, it's down for ball 2. West rocking the garnet Florida State helmet. As he slaps this one foul, it hits the screen right above the Hawks' third base dugout. 2-2. See how long the leash is on Darren Horn in this one. 1-2 pitch coming. West slaps it to third, right at Murph Gray. He didn't even have to move. Stuck the glove up and snared that one for out number 2.
Yeah, look what I found. Literally right at him.
They call up the hot corner for a reason. West trying to go the other way with it, but he found the brick wall that is Murph Gray. 2 gone for Josh Tate. Base is empty. 4-2 Harbor Hawks here in the home half of the second. Horn's first pitch at the knees and a called strike.
The fans out in center field, please stay away from the ladders. Thank you.
0-1. Round ball right off of Darren Horn. It kicks towards third, and no play there. Gray tried to gather it in. It'll be an infield single. That comebacker nailed Horn, I believe, in the right leg.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. And here comes Luxus.
Just above his knee as well. No obvious signs of pain, but Luxus out there to at least check on his starting pitcher. That one ricocheted off his leg, slowly towards Murph Gray at third, who tried to make a play on it, and they're going to go right to the bullpen here. They're not even going to bother checking on Darren Horn. They're going to go right to the pen. I believe they're going to bring in someone new, so we'll get you that name as soon as we can get it. Darren Horn's day comes to an end after the comebacker. So a 2-out base runner here in the home half of the second. 4-2 Harbor Hawks here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our next installment of the Wareham Walk-Off, and this time we're joined by a Wareham Gatemen infielder out of Fresno State, Murph Gray. You ready to roll?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Well, how was the Cape trip choose your destination this summer?
Honestly, pretty great. I love it out here. The weather's nice. The people are great, and I'm playing with some of the best of the best, so I love it.
Warm weather, too, I guess kind of akin to California being from there?
Yeah, pretty similar. I'd say it's more humid here, but I mean, it's more dry heat in California.
Gotcha. All right, well, before you were Mountain West Freshman of the Year, you had a pretty good high school athletic career. I heard you played basketball. Were you a good hooper?
Yeah, I was a decent hooper. I played some center, some power forward. I did all right.
Okay, you were kind of forcing that center role. I mean, you're 6'4", 6'5". I guess you were the tallest kid on the team?
Oh, yeah, for sure the tallest on the team, so I kind of got forced into that.
Okay, well, another thing that you did that you don't do now was pitch in high school. Is it true that you tossed a perfect game?
Yeah, so that was our first game of the season. I tossed a perfect game, and it was honestly just kind of weird and surreal since I wasn't going to be a pitcher at the next level, so it was just...
And then where did that transition happen where you decided to just become a hitter?
I want to say about my junior year of high school, I was more focused on hitting, just becoming a better hitter, kind of bettering myself, and then I love hitting. It's my passion. So.
Well, you're pretty good at it. You're on a hot streak right now, and you hit 3 home runs in a matter of 48 hours at the beginning of this week, too. So we're glad to have you. My final note on that, to get to know you before we end this session, your birth certificate says Tristan. So where did the name Murph come from?
So the name Murph comes from the movie Like Mike, one of my favorite movies. Little white kid in there named Murph. Super pale, super white, and then when I was born, I was the same way, super pale. So the nickname just kind of stuck ever.
Back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, Darren Horn's day comes to an end after he takes a comebacker off his right leg. It was off the bat of Josh Tate. Didn't show any signs of pain or anything like that, but perhaps masking it. Eric Luxus, the Gatemen pitching coach, didn't even bring out the athletic training staff. He just went out there and switched him out. So Horn's day comes to an end. He's still responsible for Tate on first base. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the second. The score 4-2 Hyannis. Kane Kepley to bat. He'll face Hudson Rowan. The left-handed pitcher out of Florida State takes over for Horn. In his second appearance late in the season, a late addition to this squad, adding them some left-handed depth in that bullpen. Putnam holding on the runner at first. The pitch. Hits Kane Kepley. Nailed him in the back. Right on that blue number 11 he's got. And he'll trot down to first base. Not the start that Rowan was looking for.
That's just kind of what happens sometimes. These Gatemen pitchers down this home stretch. Feels like first few ABs, it's really an adjustment for them, and it doesn't help that this is everybody's first time pitching at this ballpark other than Darren Horn.
Here's Michael Tatalo, 2 on, 2 away. Here in the home half of the second. Pitch just inside, but it's a called strike anyways. Tatalo doubling home the first run of this ball game in the first. He has torn up Gatemen pitching this summer. He had 6 RBI on Monday in the Hawks' 15-8 win at Spillane Field. He's had 10 RBI this year against the Gatemen. Pitch, line drive up the middle. That'll fall into center field. A base hit. To third goes Tate. He gets the wave around as the throw-in is cut off, and Tate scores. Right on cue for Michael Tatalo, his second RBI of the night, 5-2 Hyannis.
Well, you've seen that from a lot of the pitchers for the Gatemen, just struggling with leaving pitches down the middle. And with a team like Hyannis, they're going to poke that thing back up where it came from.
This team knows how to hit. And here's Eddie Pelk batting from the left side against the lefty, and he takes ball 1 down. So same situation, first and second, still with 2 outs. Rowan has thrown 3 pitches and conceded a run, although that run will be charged to Darren Horn. Jimenez at shortstop, keeping Kepley close at second base. The pitch. Fastball inside. 2-0. Pelk drove in a run on a fielder's choice in the first. It's been 3 in the first, now 2 here in the second, and a 5-2 Hyannis lead early on. Hudson Rowan, the left-hander, kicks and fires. At the knees, called a strike. 2-1. Rowan started this summer with the Harrisonburg Turks of the Valley League in Virginia. Panama City, Florida native. The 2-1 is fouled at the plate there, right in front of Gerald. Now 2-2 on Pelk. Pitched in 17 games his freshman year at Florida State. Gave up 15 earned runs and just about the same amount of work, 14 2/3 innings. Lefty on lefty. Rowan deals. Double steal in effect. Pitches down. Throw to third from Gerald. Safe is the call. Kepley swipes third. Up to second base goes Tatalo. The double steal works to perfection. Now 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs. Count 3-2. Here's the payoff. Up high, ball 4 with first base open. Pelk takes his base, and it brings up the Tennessee catcher, Cannon Peebles. Rowan inherited a runner on first, 2-out situation, and it's only gotten worse.
The catcher from Tennessee, number 2, Cannon Peebles.
So Peebles, who walked in the first and was caught stealing, climbs into the right-handed box as Hudson Rowan goes back to work. He shakes off Gerald, shakes him off again. A third time, and now he's ready. First pitch. Just down for ball 1. Nowhere to put him here, Kyle.
And that was a good first pitch, too. I mean, it's going to be tough to nibble around the zone with this guy, though.
Peebles has played in just a handful of ball games for the Harbor Hawks this summer. The 1-0. Swing and a pop fly. That'll head foul down the right side, out of play. Hawks at every base. Kepley at third, Tatalo at second, with Pelk at first. A 5-2 Hyannis lead here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, powered in the air to left, but that'll tail foul into the trees, just out in front of the curve.
Well, it's changing speeds as much as he can. And it's curveball, big speed difference, so see if he tries to dial it up. But if he goes to the fastball, my gosh, does he have to leave it high and out of the zone.
Rowan comes set, ahead in the count 1-2. The pitch. In the dirt, kicks away from Gerald to the backstop. It goes, here's Kepley in to score. He trots in from third. Everyone else moves up 90 feet. Tatalo to third, Pelk to second. Make it 6-2 Harbor Hawks. Wild pitch there for Rowan. Now the count 2-2 on Peebles. Rowan ready to go. Checks second and fires. It's down, full count. They once again have first base open with Eddie Saldivar on deck. Peebles the 8th man to bat here in this second inning. Payoff on the way. Fisted in the hole and through into left field, a base hit. Here's Tatalo in to score. Pelk around third, the ball bobbled in left by Colby Turner, and 2 score on the play. Peebles drives them in, and it's 8-2 Hawks.
Yeah, just a handful of mistake pitches, and this game's scooting away from him.
The second baseman from Fresno State, number 7.
Hudson Rowan entered this ball game with 2 outs, and he's allowed 4 straight guys to reach. Hit by pitch, single, walk, single. Here's Eddie Saldivar, runner on first, 2 outs. And the first pitch is fouled away. The bat goes flying out of Saldivar's hands, and it lands right in front of us. We're posted up right behind home plate, and Saldivar goes to retrieve the bat himself.
Says he doesn't need the pine tar either.
Instead, he takes a fistful of dirt from the home plate area, rubs it on his baseball pants, and digs back in. He rocks the no batting gloves look. Pitch. Fastball, called a strike, top of the zone. It's 0-2. Don't see too many guys go without the batting gloves these days. A classic look. Lefty on lefty, runner on first. Rowan. Breaking ball fouled away. How about that swing, just to get that one lifted out of the way.
That's a pure contact swing right there.
Saldivar just trying to protect. But the Hawks already up 8-2 here in the home half of the second inning. They have scored 5 times in this frame. Handful of crooked numbers early on. The pitch. Fouled away again, and Saldivar lost one of his hands on that swing.
I don't know how he does it. I mean, that would just kill me. That would eat at me if I felt like I didn't have a good grip on the bat.
I mean, we were hitting intern batting practice yesterday, and I refused to go without the batting gloves.
And I eventually conformed to that ideology.
0-2 coming. Outside. Good eye there on the breaking ball, 1-2. Just with a wood bat and how sweaty at least my hands would get, you know, in the hot sun and everything. It's just makes sense. And I don't have big hands. The pitch. Fouled back into the screen. My hands are just whittled, Kyle.
I think you have normal-sized hands.
I disagree. I'm a small human.
No, I mean, you're like 5'10".
That's such a lie. Thanks for giving me 3 whole inches. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Eddie Saldivar at the plate. Hudson Rowan just trying to get through this second inning. The Hawks already up 8-2. Rowan ready. He deals. And there you go. There goes the bat again. Here it goes into the screen this time as that ball's fouled off. Eddie can hear us. Do you want some pine tar, Eddie? And I think he might accept it this time.
There we go.
There it is. The on-deck batter, Blake Cavill, tossing him the pine tar, and he's rubbing up the bat now. For the second time in this at-bat, the bat sailing out of his hands. You can't draw this up.
Both of them have flown in our direction, too. Just saying.
At least we have a net in front of us. All right, Hudson Rowan, it's been a long second inning. And he finally ends it. A swing and a miss. Saldivar down on strikes. 8-2 Hawks. They score 5 times here in the second inning. The Gatemen with work to do. Going top of 3 from Hyannis on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Edition of the Wareham Walk-Off, and this time we're with an outfielder from Louisville, Michael Lippy. You ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Well, Michael, like a lot of players in this team, you've been around the block. You're from Wisconsin, highly ranked player, and then you were in the Northwoods. So what brought you to the Cape?
I think had a pretty good year in the woods, and my coaching staff just told me it's just the next step in the process of college baseball, so they decided to send me here. So, I mean, it's a blessing that I got sent here. It's a blessing I'm still here. So.
Gotcha. So what about the big difference between Midwest baseball and the East Coast? Is this your first time being akin to the East Coast other than playing in the ACC?
Yeah, I mean, this is my first time in the East Coast. I would say, like, playing baseball here and in Wisconsin, it's pretty similar in a way. I mean, obviously the competition is way higher out here in the Cape and the woods and woods in Wisconsin and everything. It's much. The talent isn't as deep as it runs in the Cape.
All right, well, my final question now that we're at home plate, which is a familiar spot for you. Yeah. Your favorite memories playing baseball here in Wareham so far?
Favorite memories probably just like the bus rides and going on that winning streak that we had earlier in the season. I think that was like a lot of fun just to, baseball's a lot more fun when you're winning games and stuff, no matter like how you're doing personally or anything. So, I mean, it's just a great team, great environment. So I'd say that winning streak and just all the bus rides have been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so,
seems like it. Well, can't help but agree. Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
All right, that's Michael Lippy. I'm Kyle Marchak. We'll catch you guys for our next edition of the Wareham Walk-Off.
It's still Aaron Majulam on the mound for the Hyannis Harperhawks, going to the top of the third inning, and he has got quite the lead to work with. 8-2, Hyannis leads it. A 5-run second inning, and a rough outing there for both Darren Horn and Hudson Rowan combined.
Well, they've allowed 7 hits. They're just leaving a lot of pitches down the middle right now, and then, a couple of free passes not going to help either.
Gatemen did get themselves a couple of runs in the away half of the second before that 5-run outburst. We saw a Nate early solo shot. So perhaps these bats can come to life again, just like we saw yesterday. They were down 8-0 to Cotuit. They roared back to win it 10-9. Back to the top of the order for Johan Destro. He'll be followed by Colby Turner and Murph Gray. Majulam, the right-hander out of Michigan State. First pitch. Floats outside for ball 1. He stands 6'7". Tall drink of water on the mound. Originally of Emory University. Now he's a Spartan. He's got a 3-pitch mix. Fastball, slider, and change. Fastball sits in the high 80s. Pitch on the way. There is that fastball. It's a called strike. 1-1. Slider mid to high 70s with a changeup in the low 80s. Can expect a heavy fastball slider diet. Open stance in the left-handed box for Destro. The pitch. This is down. It's 2-1. Destro certainly likes hitting here at McKeon Park, and the first game played here between these two squads this summer was July 5th, and Destro smashed a home run out to right field. I believe it is still the longest home run by any Gateman this summer, as this one misses down. I believe it was 458.
Yeah, that's right. Something about hitting it to right field at this ballpark. It just catches a jet stream and takes off.
Yeah, that wind's still blowing out to right center. Expect a whole lot of that. Pitch. Rolled over, first base side. Picked up by Cavill on a couple of bounces. Underhand toss to Majulam, covering for the out. Destro put away on the 3-1 putout. Full name of this place? Judy Walden Scarifiel Field at McKeon Park. That is a mouthful.
it's a long baseball name. I'm going to go with McKeon Park.
That's what I'm also going to go with. And the Gatemen will go with Colby Turner here. One away in the top of the third. 8-2, Hawks lead it. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch. Down for ball one. The sun setting down the left field line in foul territory. Most of the field now covered in shade. The entirety of left and left center. Left side of the infield as well. And right side, including the outfield, still illuminated by the sunlight as the lights come on. The 1-0 is fouled back. Evens the count. Last time Missoula started a ball game was against the Orleans Firebirds back on July 18th. He went 3 innings. So we'll see what the plan is here for Mitch Carricker and the Harbor Hawks tonight. Turner did single against him in the first inning. He ended up stranded on third base. The 1-1 dips outside. Turner's a guy that's gotten a whole lot better as the season's gone along. He's become more consistent and more confident at the plate. 2-1 pitch. Chased it outside. 2-2. Turner wrapped up his freshman season at San Diego State. He'll be heading to join the Michigan Wolverines coming up in the fall. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Slider got him. Top of the zone for out number 2.
Yeah, that slider just tumbles on these righties. I mean, Missoula, as you said, 6'7", and it's not like he's using that length to throw sidearm or anything. He's still coming from pretty much over the top, maybe more towards like 3/4, but it doesn't matter. When you're 6'7", I mean, it's going to feel like he's just throwing that thing straight down on you.
See how Murph Gray can counteract that. Bases clear and 2 gone. 8-2 Hawks here in the away half of the third. Zulam looking for his first 1-2-3 outing of the game. Called a strike at the knees. Gray popped out to the shortstop. White his last time. The 0-1. Checks his swing. Evens the count. Despite his cold end to the month of July, he still sits atop the leaderboards in multiple categories. 2nd in the league in hits, 3rd in RBI, 4th in total bases, 7th best batting average in the league. Top 10 in numerous other categories as well, as he takes a called strike 1 and 2. Guy that comes to the ballpark every day, ready to do a job. Righty on righty. The 1-2. Off the end of the bat, it trickles foul up the first base line. Just out in front of that one.
Afraid that was going to take a left turn back towards fair play.
Not like we haven't seen that this summer.
I think, what was it, Sam White that did that?
I think it was Sam White.
Yeah.
Sam White hasn't played in a couple of days. Zulam ready with the sign. The 1-2, a 58-footer. Bounces to the backstop.
You ever see that banana ball rule where it's like a stealing first type of thing, where if you're at bat, doesn't matter what the count is, if they throw a wild pitch, you can try and steal first?
Oh, yeah. I'm very familiar with banana ball. Been around the bananas a couple of times. Worldwide phenomenon. The 2-2 is nubbed right in front of home plate, but that trickles foul. So still 2-2 to Gray. Got to go to Savannah a couple of times just earlier this year and help a friend with a package, UF Media Project, on a Savannah Banana who's actually from Gainesville, a guy named Malachi Mitchell.
Really?
Yeah, a good friend of mine, Anna Semba, did a really nice report on him. Spoke to him, his family, coaches, players on the Bananas as well. We got to take in a couple of ball games with them entirely for free, which was dope. As Gray rolls one to third, a diving stop there by Datalo. Up with it, throw to first in time. What a play down there at the hot corner by Datalo. A 1-2-3 inning for the Gatemen here in the away half of the third. We're going to go bottom of 3. Still 8-2 Hyannis on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Ethan Eibe here with another edition of Wareham Walk-Off, and today our guest is Davidson College's Eli Putnam, first baseman for the Gatemen. Eli, it's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get to walking. So first things first, Eli, let's look at off-the-field stuff. What's something that's brought you joy this week outside of baseball?
Joy this week outside of baseball? We had 2 off days this week. I got to spend some of the time out on the beach. Spent really my whole day. I guess it was Thursday. I spent in the Sandwich, checking out some cool spots there, going to the gardens, getting some free time, relaxing. It's nice and chill.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, first year in the Cape, you were the Atlantic 10 home run champion this year. What is the transition to the Cape been like for you?
I mean, it's a step up in terms of competition from the A10 and our usual opponents, but I feel like it hasn't been too crazy. It's still 60 feet 6 inches, 90 feet between the bases. It's still baseball at the end of the day.
Awesome stuff. Our last question for you, Eli, as we get ready to touch home. What's something that you want more people to know about Eli Putnam?
I think a lot of people wouldn't know something about me is that I'm a really big chef. I love to cook when I'm at school. I cook for all my roommates. Just last night made a nice tomato mozzarella gnocchi. You know, that's one of my biggest passions outside of baseball.
What's your favorite thing you like to cook?
I love pizza, Neapolitan pizza.
Ooh, okay, maybe we'll have to chef that up sometime.
Maybe. I'd love to.
Yep. All right, this has been Wareham Walk-Off. Eli Putnam, as always, a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV, we go to the bottom half of the third inning from McKeon Park in Hyannis. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen with Hyannis up 8-2. It's Jacob Faulkner, the right-handed submariner out of Princeton, takes over for Hudson Rowan. Darren Horn got the start in this one, only when an inning and 2/3 gave way to Rowan, who allowed a slew of runners to reach and later score in that second inning, Kyle.
Yeah, a lot of hits. They've got 7 today, Hyannis does. So just trying to change a rhythm here. I mean, even when they hit the bullpen, it was kind of a struggle. So I think it'll be big for Faulkner to do his thing. I mean, he's an all-star for a reason. And then most of all, if he makes it quick, he starts early on these guys, gets early strikes, hopefully goes more than just an inning.
Faulkner could be in for a long relief outing here. We will see. That ERA is certainly all-star worthy. 2.08. This is his 13th appearance on the season. 21 and 2/3 innings, just 5 earned runs allowed. So he has been superb, and he'll hopefully give some length out of the pen for Ryan Smythe in this one as he fires his final warm-up pitch in. Jacob Gerald throws it down. Harper Hawks will send the bottom tier of their order up to the plate. 8-hole hitter Blake Cavell, then Mason White and Jackson West. Faulkner, one of just 5 pitchers with 12 or more appearances this year in the Cape Cod Baseball League. So he has been heavily used and heavily trusted. Right-hander will deal with a left-hander at the plate. And the first pitch. In there for a called strike 1. Cavell homered his first time up against Darren Horn to lead off the second inning. The Hawks would later score 4 more times in a 5-run frame, adding on to the 3 they put up in the first. 0-1. Fouled back into the screen. Cavell's home run was out to left center. It barely escaped McKeon Park. It's 379 to dead center field. 358 down the right field line. Just 324 to left. The pitch. Line drive up the middle. Picked up by Hyannis. It goes off the heel of his glove. He picks it up and the throw is wide. Cavell reaches. We'll see how they score it. It was a hard hit ball up the middle on one hop for Hyannis, but he couldn't gather it in.
Yeah, took a weird hop. A lot of obstacles it got past, too, so no easy play for Hyannis, a guy who's going to make that play otherwise.
Hyannis has been sure-handed at shortstop as of late. Here's Mason White now, and they do give Cavell a single. First pitch in there, a called strike. So Cavell now 2 for 2. White 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 8-2 Hawks here. Runner on first. Nobody out in the home half of the third. Pitch. Slap towards third. Picked up by Gray on one hop. Throw to second for 1. Desero the turn. A low throw, and it's not in time. White scampering up the line, beats out the return throw. He reaches on the fielder's choice, but Cavell crossed off at second for the first out.
Well, already better base running control out of Faulkner here, inducing 2 ground balls, but, one of them a hit, another one, they do get the fielder's choice.
Took Destro an extra couple of seconds to get to second base to receive that initial throw, based on how hard that ball was hit. As the first pitch, a bouncer right back to Jackson West, who throws to first in time for the out. That is out number 2. There's no attempt to get Mason White at second base there.
Yeah, I think he just 100% of the way wanted to go get the force at first, I guess.
Don't think he forgot how many outs there were, but at least getting the sure out at first base. However, White now in scoring position for Josh Tate, who has already reached and scored twice today on a single and a fielder's choice. Faulkner peering in for the sign from Gerald. He's ready. Bent at the waist towards third base. First pitch. Just in for ball 1. Entire field here at McKeon Park now in the shade as the sun nearly completes its descent. Cloudless early evening on Cape Cod. Fastball up, 2-0. (8-2) Hyannis here, 2 away in the third. Runner on second. Faulkner ready to deal, and here is the 2-0. Inside ball 3. White takes off of second. Nobody holding him on. Faulkner looks back and deals, and he gets the strike. Still down in the count 3-1 though, with Kane Kepley on deck. Never easy with this Harbor Hawks order. Already 8 hits today, out hitting the Gatemen 8-3, 3-1. Chopper foul behind home plate, and a full count. Faulkner looking to hold the Hawks scoreless for the first time in this ball game. They scored 3 times in the first, 5 in the second. Payoff pitch. Liner to the right side, right at Eli Putnam. The first baseman hauls it in for out number 3, and he saves a run, most likely. Faulkner finally hanging a 0 on the Hawks tonight. We'll go to the 4th, 8-2 Hyannis on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
I couldn't get out, so they stopped the game. Umpires actually had to peel me out of the fence. They had to pull the fence.
And an incredible guest for us today on the pod, in the words of the great Jason Stark, writer, broadcaster, and distinguished former major leaguer, Doug Glanville. Doug, it is terrific to have you on today.
So, any favorite ballparks that you visited while you were in the Cape?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you got to love Spillane Field with like the all dirt infield or whatever he had going there, the darkened dirt. Let me see. Well, I didn't like Bourne because one time I slid for a ball. I was doing that cool move where the ball's up against the fence and you slide around it and then pop up and throw. And then I slid and went through the fence. So my leg got caught in the fence and I couldn't do anything. I had to roll the ball to the right fielder and I couldn't get out. So they stopped the game. Umpires actually had to peel me out of the fence and to pull the fence.
Oh my God.
So that wasn't a good memory. So Bourne, the fog always rolled in there.
Heading to the 4th inning from McKeon Park in Hyannis, 8-2. Hyannis leads Wareham on this Saturday night. 11 minutes past the 7 o'clock hour. Middle of the order due up for the Gatemen, Jacob Gerald, Reese Chapman, and Eli Putnam. Kyle, the Gatemen find themselves down early again here, just like we saw yesterday. How are they going to go about not being down and out? That mentality needs to stick around.
Yeah, attacking early. I think they've allowed themselves to get into 2-strike counts way too often. So big to try and start something early. Once you get your pitch, hit it.
This team does have quite a few guys that like to take that first pitch hack if they get what they like. and not getting what he likes here, but it is a called strike to Jacob Jarrell, 0-1. He is the cleanup hitter today. He'll be followed by Chapman and Putnam. 1-2-3 third inning for Majulam. He's out there for his fourth inning in his third start. Pitch. Jarrell pops this one up out towards left center field. Tate and Pelt going after it, and it'll be Josh Tate, the left fielder, in the gap to haul it in. One away.
The right fielder from Tennessee, number 7, Reese Chapman.
Well, this is already the new season high in innings for Majulam. His previous high was just 3.
Yeah, second straight game that Wareham's faced a guy who's mainly a reliever.
So here's Reese Chapman. He's found himself in a bit of a slump. 1 for his last 17. First offering. Misses down. It heads to the backstop. And I believe that actually hit him. It did clip Chapman on the right knee. So he takes off his protective gear and trots down to first.
All right, we'll take it. Base runner to get things started. Good part of the order coming up.
We get into a group that has really seen action in so many different spots in the order this year. The malleability of this Gatemen lineup. Putnam has batted anywhere as high as 3rd to as low as 8th. And Hyannis, you'll see him just about anywhere in the lineup on any given night. As Putnam stands in now, he was the walk-off hero yesterday. Tied the game against Cotuit with a 2-run single in the 7th, made it 9-9. The first pitch, called a strike at the knees. And his patience won the day. With the bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 9th, he worked the walk, and that was that. First time I've ever seen a walk-off walk. How about you?
I think in person, yeah, that might be the first for me.
0-1. Just down to even the count. You see it on occasion around Major League Baseball, but it is a rarity. It's not like it's anticlimactic, but it is just slightly less exciting than a base hit would be to win a game. Throw over to first, just to check on Chapman.
And a grand slam would have been cool.
That would have been dope. But you also have to think about, when you draw the walk to win a game, everyone has to go up and touch their new base. That is a rule.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Putnam. You have to treat it like a usual walk. Everyone has to touch their respective bags for it to be official. Just an added wrinkle to it. A formality, if you will. 1-2. Putnam ropes one to third. Datalo there to grab it. Throw back to first. Safe there is Chapman. Got back in the nick of time. 2 away on the line out.
And they've lined out a couple of times today.
Shortstop from Central Florida, number 14.
Unlucky contact there.
He scorched it, but Datalo was able to pick that one up just before it hit the ground down there at third base. And so Antonio Hyannis will stand in. He drove in Putnam on a ground out his first time up, but he's got Chapman at first with 2 down. 8-2 Hyannis here. We're in the top of the 4th. Wind still blowing steady out to right center. First pitch outside to Hyannis. Mentioned how tall Majulam is. He's 6'7". That orange Harbor Hawks jersey is a bit baggy on him, so we can see it blowing in the wind. The 1-0. Hyannis fights it off, and it's foul down the right side. Naderly waits on deck, looking for an encore performance after his 2nd inning home run. Chapman not much of a lead at first base at all, with 2 down. Cavo still holding him on, the 1-1. Catches the bottom part of the zone, strike 2. Righty on righty, Majulam looking to work through the 4th. With his team up by 6, he's ready. 1-2. And a tapper foul. It's right off the Harbor Hawks third base dugout. Penultimate game of the regular season, playoffs just around the corner. Scheduled to start on Tuesday. We'll have the season finale tomorrow at home against Falmouth, 6 o'clock, a day off on Monday. And then it all begins, the one-game playoff. We'll see where we end up, as there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Hyannis down to end the top of the 4th inning. Chapman stranded at first base, and the Hawks maintain their 8-2 lead heading to the last of the 4th on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Ethan Eibe here with another edition of Wareham Walk-Off, and today it's right-handed pitcher Cole Lehman out of Lehigh University. Cole, it's great to have you. Let's get going.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you even find your way to Wareham?
There was an old player at Lehigh a couple years ago, Mason Black. He played for Brewster. I think Coach Smythe was an assistant there, so there might have been some type of connection there. Other than that, it's always a goal of mine to be up here, and my coach at Lehigh made it happen, so I'm very excited to be here.
Things that you are working on this summer.
Yeah, I think I've found success in it in one of my starts, just kind of throwing the fastball in. That was a huge thing. Coach Luxus said that to us day one. Fastball in and change-ups to righties, so we've been trying to work on those things and, you know, just keep my stuff working.
There you go. So, over at Lehigh, you are an economics major with a Spanish minor. Now, I'd love to know why the choice in both the major and the minor?
Well, I had a great economics teacher in high school, Mr. Wagner, and then Spanish minor, I just did some traveling as a kid. My family, we went to Cuba. I played in Puerto Rico for a week.
How are you enjoying the Cape League experience so far?
Oh, it's great. I love all the guys, love the coaches, love my host family. Tate, I live with Tate, love Tate.
That you think more people should know about Cole Lehman?
Well, I have a special talent of finding 4-leaf clovers.
Really?
So that's something. But try to be energetic, try to bring good energy every day. You know, at school, something I'm big on is trying to help the younger guys, you know, do the best they can and grow into the best pitchers they can be. So it's a big part of my game and who I am. So, yeah.
Cole Lehman, always looking to pass it along. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Back to action here in the last of the 4th. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks lead the Wareham Gatemen 8-2 in the penultimate game of the 2024 regular season. Jacob Jarrell fires down the final warm-up pitch to second base. As Jacob Faulkner goes back to work, he pitched a scoreless 3rd inning. First 0 hung by the Harbor Hawks tonight. He'll face the heart of this order, however. Kane Kepley, Michael Detallo, and Eddie Pelk due up. Ethan Eibe alongside Kyle Marchak on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Our sideline reporter, Madison Walker, will hear from her at the conclusion of this half inning. And our lone producer tonight, running the gig solo, is Joseph Patty Henry. The first pitch misses up to Kane Kepley.
Joe Pat H.
Joe Packy over here.
Joe Packy.
What's up, Packy? How are you tonight? He's just nodding. Faulkner bent and deals. Misses down 2-0 to Kepley, who has been Kane Kepleying all night. Singled and scored in the first, hit by pitch, stole second, stole third, scored on a wild pitch. What more did you expect from Kane Kepley? 2-0 deal. He watches ball 3, just outside.
Yeah, Kane Kepley has his own version of a home run. What he does is he slaps a ball softly to the left side, makes it to first base. He'll steal second, he'll steal third, and then he'll come home on a wild pitch.
He has hit 3 home runs this year. And he takes a strike down low, but brought in for Faulkner 3-1. His average isn't that great. It's just .238, but the walks and everything else he brings to the table, his speed, his quickness, really makes him formidable. As he takes strike 2, it's a full count.
Yeah, actually, I take that back. He would walk aboard.
He would walk.
His typical trip around the bases, walk, steal, steal, wild pitch, or some variation of a wild pitch and a steal.
Or he'll steal home.
Yeah, that too.
Payoff. And just inside. Ball 4. Jarrell asking where that one missed. I detect a makeup call. I thought that called strike 1 was a bit low, like ankle high low. And then that pitch, close enough to be called strike 3, was not.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's what I'm going with.
People say that doesn't exist, but it does.
Oh, it does. Come on now. People that say that don't know ball. I'm not afraid to say that either. Michael Detallo at the plate. Kepley on first. The first pitch is fouled back. Detallo has done his damage. 2 RBI tonight on a double and a single. He scored twice. Hyannis put up 3 in the first, 5 in the second. They lead at 8-2. Faulkner will deal with the runner on. And Kepley's quick, of course. 18 stolen bases this year as Tatalo rolls one foul up the third base line. 0-2. Kepley third in the league in stolen bases. Eli Putnam holding him on at first as Faulkner gets ready to roll. For the 0-2, a check on Kepley. He's back safely. Nice crowd tonight in Hyannis, as per usual. Well over 1,000, I may say. The bleachers right behind the third base dugouts and plenty of space for the lawn chairs. The 0-2 is roped towards third. Murph Gray leaps up to grab it. Oh, baby at the hot corner. Murph Gray robbing Tatalo for out number 1.
What a play. I mean, you got to be light in your feet to make that snag. It helps that he's 6'4", but that ball was scorched well over his head, shifted to his right, and then just exploded into the air. That's pure athleticism there.
One third baseman lines out to the other. What a play by Murph. Kepley was able to get back to first as Eddie Pelk stands in. Batting from the left side against the righty. And he takes strike one up in the zone. There's one thing that's been solid today, it's been the Gatemen defense. And Murph Gray's been tested a couple of times at the hot corner tonight. Kepley a couple of steps off of first. 0-1. Slider down. Faulkner comes set. The pitch is just down. 2-1. 8-2 Hyannis here. We're in the top, check that, the bottom of the 4th inning. Runner on first in Kane Kepley. Plenty of speed down there. Faulkner's 2-1. Watches the breaking ball down. And now Pelk ahead in the count. He's reached base twice tonight. Fielder's choice and a walk. Faulkner looks at first, and now he's ready. Here's the pitch. And he gets the call. Fastball at the knees, a full count. Picks up the rosin bag. Dusts off his hand, and now he's ready to go. Pelk digs back in. And the payoff. Fisted right back towards short and through into left center field, a base hit. Kepley, no hesitation on his way to third. He slides in there safely. I believe he was off with the pitch. And once again, Hyannis, the shortstop, drifting over to expect a throw. That line drive was right back to where he was starting the play.
Man, people forget how effective the hit and run is, especially when you have a team that's very good at just putting the ball in play. Who cares about the expected batting average of a ball in play? If they put it in play and there's a hit and run on, the expectation of that ball making it to the outfield is so much higher.
And Pelk got jammed a little bit too. Just a jam shot to short, but Hyannis wasn't home. And you can't fault him for it. Corners in, middle infielders a double play depth for Cannon Peebles, who watches ball one outside. So let's see if Faulkner can get out of this jam he's gotten himself into. Kepley at third, Pelk at first. 8-2 Hawks here in the home half of the 4th. 1-0. Fouled back. Peebles a 2-run single in the second, a walk as well. Just proving how deep this Hawks order is. And they just released Eric Snow, by the way. One of the top hitters, not just on the Hawks, but in the entire league. He was top 10 in batting average. 1-1. Now when a called strike, check down at first base. Gerald with the back pick, but the runner's safe.
Yeah, thank God. He hits.
Yeah, Eric Snow, now transferring to Auburn, was definitely a Gatemen killer. 7 RBI this year against Wareham. 1-2. Line towards third, and this one hauled in by Gray again. Are you kidding me? Murph Gray, get up. Get up there. 2 gone.
Kid used to play basketball, can tell you that. You think he can dunk?
Oh, my. Yeah, I think he could. Peebles just tried to serve that one right over Murph's head, and Gray got up there and stole it.
They've already been roughed up by the ump, so we couldn't use them.
Right in the top webbing of his glove as well. He's stolen 2 hits from the Hawks in this 4th inning. Throwing a star on that one as well, why don't you? As Eddie Saldivar steps in, Faulkner's got to be appreciating the defense right now from Murph. Still 1st and 3rd, now 2 away. 8-2 Hyannis here in the last of the 4th. First pitch is down, ball 1 to Saldivar. And guess what, Kyle? Saldivar's got batting gloves this time.
Yeah, smart move.
Saldivar lost the handle on his bat a couple of times. His bat went flying his first time up. 1-0. Outside, Gerald brings in ball 2. So Faulkner 1 out away from getting out of this jam. Runners on the corners and 2 down. Looking to keep the deficit where it's at. 2-0 pitch. Finds the zone. A called strike. It's Palk at first, Kane Kepley at 3rd. Faulkner winds and deals. And a ground ball, first base side, picked up by Putnam in fair territory. Steps on the first base bag for out number 3. That's how you get out of the jam. You rely on your defense. Murph Gray and Eli Putnam there combining for a nice couple of plays in that 4th inning. 8-2, Hyannis with the lead, and with more on tonight, let's send it to Madison Walker.
Thank you so much, Ethan. I think I'm getting a little bit of deja vu from yesterday with the minimal hits and going into an 8-2 game so far, but I'm hoping we can turn it around. Our defense looks like they have not given up with Murph Gray with those 2 great grabs. Eli been doing great per usual, great at the plate, and Nate Early finally getting a shot. I mean, we've seen him do it. We know he can. Been in a little bit of a slump recently, but honestly, a lot of our guys have. I think that little seance ritual thing that I talked to you guys about yesterday must have really done something, because at least we got a few hits. You know, guys that we haven't seen been doing too much at the plate. They're finally getting back in it. So hopefully we can have another comeback win, have another good story. I mean, obviously we know they can do it, right, guys? So let's keep hoping for that. That's all I got for you now, so I'm going to throw it back over to you guys.
Thanks, Madison. And, you know, to her point, this was the ballpark that set the scene for one of the near comebacks we saw earlier on in this season. It was Game 17 on July 5th. Hyannis and Wareham here at McKeon Park. They were down, 8-2 late in that ball game. It was actually, no, 8-1, I want to say, because they put up 5 runs in the 9th inning here at McKeon Park, and they almost stole it out of nothing.
Yeah, that's all accurate, and it was, like Madison said, a couple of guys that hadn't been hitting that helped spark it. Jace Reinhardt, who is no longer on this roster, hit his only home run in that inning. So yeah, I think maybe that vibe can stick around, and who knows, we can be right back in it. We saw them yesterday, and then last time they were here, that they can certainly make it a competitive ball game, even if they're down 6 right now.
Well, speaking of guys who can ignite a spark, we'll see if the bottom of the order can do just that, with Nate Early, Billy Parker, and Yohan Desero due up. Early, of course, smashing his 2nd home run of the season back in the 2nd inning. Aaron Bajulam continuing here in the top half of the 5th. It's 8-2 Hyannis. They're 8 runs on 9 hits, and just 3 hits today for the Gatemen. The penultimate game of this 2024 regular season. It all comes to a conclusion tomorrow at Spillane Field as the Gatemen host the Falmouth Commodores, who have been confirmed to finish last in the West Division. They'll be missing the playoffs. The top 4 teams in the league will be making it out of the West. Bourne, Wareham, Cotuit, and Hyannis. And still a couple of things yet to be decided in the East as Early stands in and takes ball 1 in the dirt. But a really close battle for the 3rd and 4th playoff spots in the East between Harwich, Orleans, and Brewster, all separated by 3 games in that order. Also, a whole lot of double headers today around the league. A lot of rain delay, fog out, dark out, whatever out makeups. 1-0 pitch. Early watches that one. Scoots out of the glove of Peebles.
Well, I guess, geographically, it's that time of year for more precipitation in the summer. It doesn't really come until later in the summer, I guess. And then, just with the design of the schedule, you only have so much time, and you have 5 games in 6 days, so you got to get them in.
2-0. Early pops it up. Foul ground, first base side. That'll find the seats. It lands just behind the bleachers here along the first base line. Orleans is playing a couple of games today. They lost to Bourne earlier today. They're playing Bourne now on the road. So how about that? A split doubleheader in 2 different locations. That is difficult. 2-1 early, slaps it out to left center field, falling fast, and it'll get down. And now early, a big turn around first. He'll hold up there. It's a leadoff single for the Louisville DH.
Center fielder from Army, number 5.
So he can blast him deep to right field, and he can also fight one off to left center if he has to.
Yeah, that's pure hitting right there.
And it brings up Billy Parker, a guy who has impressed in his short stint with the Gatemen. That is now just 3 games long. Yesterday, of course, was his statement game. He had a diving catch in center field, a couple of RBI, even slugged a home run to left field. First pitch is fouled away. Now get this. Billy Parker, an Army guy, Army West Point. His host family, of course, the same as ours. He's our second host brother. He lives with Mike and Mary Chaplin, and Mike Chaplin is a Naval Academy guy through and through, Coast Guard, all of that. So a little bit of a rivalry there, of course. But Billy, of course, happy to be in the house as this one misses inside. It's 1-1. And how about his home run yesterday, landing on top of the concession stand beyond the left field hill that Mike Chaplin runs?
It's hilarious. Baseball is so poetic sometimes.
Before the 1-1, a check on the runner at first. Early is safe. 8-2 Hyannis here. Nobody out in the top of the 5th. So we'll see if Billy Parker can continue his hot start. Righty against the righty. Majulam, the starting pitcher, deals, and the ground ball hit towards third. Couple of hops for Tatalo. He goes to second, gets the out there. Return throw to first, not in time. Early crossed off at second. He's the first out of the inning.
Second baseman.
Just getting jammed a little bit on that pitch.
Johan Desero.
So Parker aboard on the fielder's choice. Back to the top of the order for Johan Desero. And before we get to him, we'll see a visit and likely a pitching change for Mitch Carricker, the first-year manager of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Heads out to the mound, and he daps up his starting pitcher, Aaron Missoula, and takes the ball from the right-hander out of Michigan State. Excellent effort for Missoula tonight. A season-high 4 1/3 innings. Book not yet closed on him with the runner at first base, so we'll get you that new name for the Harbor Hawks here as we step aside. 8-2 Hyannis, top of the 5th inning with 1 away on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
PC is a Massachusetts-based leading-edge real estate closing, title, settlement, and personal injury and litigation law firm. Our clients trust us to provide the most comprehensive real estate closing and litigation services in Massachusetts. Our full network of closing and settlement attorneys, agencies, and litigators have expanded throughout New England and beyond. We deliver on that trust and reliance by offering the best professional prompt assistance, advanced technology, and state-of-the-art closing services in the real estate law and litigation business today. Our commitment to excellence, honest reputation, and tradition of aggressive representation to provide quality legal services is what we will continue to demonstrate at Sync Law. We believe and will prove that successfully addressing client needs requires more than just knowledge of the law. It requires a mastery of good representation and an attitude to finalize every transaction to my client's satisfaction. Live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law.
Back to action here in the top of the 5th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Hyannis Harborhawks. It's right-hander Reed Mooring out of UC Santa Barbara. Sophomore over at UC Santa Barbara, California native as well, native of Santa Cruz. He takes over here with a runner on first and one away. Aaron Missoula's day comes to an end. The book not yet closed on him, however. He's responsible for the runner at first base. That's Billy Parker. But a tough assignment here for Mooring as he faces the top half of this Gatemen order. Desro due up next, Turner to follow, and we'll see what happens after that. The Gatemen find themselves down 8-2 here at McKeon Park. A Harborhawks group that has the best record in the league at home at 15-3. They simply do not lose often here at home.
Well, it's, hitter-friendly confines, and then obviously that exponentially grown upon the fact that it is their home park. Not really shocked. And then you add on the other factor, the fact that this team wins a lot of baseball games. So the fact that they have the best home record does not shock me. And again, very hitter-friendly here.
Should not surprise you either that the best home batting average in the Cape League belongs to the Harborhawks at .291 as a team.
Yeah. Wow. .291 at home. They just rake here. And this is a team that hits well to begin with, but .291 at home really says a lot.
The road is a different story, however. They have the league's worst away batting average, so quite the split there. But here at McKeon Park, it's 8-2 Hyannis as Yohan Desro steps in to face Reed Mooring. And the right-hander's first pitch is outside, ball one. It's Parker at first base. Mooring, his 7th appearance, ERA at 3.95. He's given up 6 earned runs over 13 2/3 this summer. He deals, and Desro watches strike one. It's 1-1. 4-pitch guy, fastball, slider, curveball, and a change. The fastball sits at 92. Throw over to first is close, but Parker back in safely.
It's a firm pickoff throw over there.
We've seen Parker's speed on defense. We haven't seen it quite on the base paths just yet. The 1-1. Swing and a miss over the top of that slider. Though with a 6-run deficit, I doubt we'll see him running. Just can't afford to give any base runners away as we get into the second half of this ball game here soon. The check on him again. He's back in with a dive. Parker, after hitting his first home run of the year last night, saluting his teammates as he found his way back into the dugout. In fact, they saluted him first, and all he had to do was respond. Cavill holding him on at first base. 1-2 to Desero. Swing and a high fly ball out towards left center field. The ballpark will hold it. Eddie Pelk is over, and the catch made out there for out number 2.
The left fielder from Michigan, number 12, Colby Turner.
So with 2 away, that'll bring up Colby Turner. Hawks up by 6 with 2 gone in the 5th. Turner tonight 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. Gatemen haven't scored since the 2nd inning. They put up a pair. First pitch. Turner shows bunt, pulls it back, and that pitch inside for ball 1. RBI for Jimenez and Early in this one. Nate Early, of course, his solo home run in the 2nd inning. Parker takes his lead. And the 1-0. Nice frame job there by the catcher Peebles. He steals a strike at the bottom of the zone. Dusk soon to be setting in here at McKeon Park. Another check on Parker, a tag, and he's safe. Cavill thought he had him. He stares down the first base umpire, Steve Callenda. It was awfully close.
That's 2 pickoffs there now that could have gone both ways.
A great move by Reed Mooring. He works from the first base side of the rubber. Right-hander deals the 1-1. The ground ball pulled towards short. Couple of hops there for Mason White. Flips to second for the out. Parker scratched off for out number 3. The Gatemen go quietly here in the top half of the 5th inning, and they still find themselves down 8-2 to Hyannis. Bottom of 5 coming up from McKeon Park on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV, 8-2 Hyannis as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And taking you the rest of the way on the play-by-play tonight, here is Kyle Marchak.
Well, thank you very much, Ethan Eibe. 9 hits for Hyannis, just 4 for Wareham, but at least the offense still continuing a little bit of an uptick as the Gatemen look to continue winning ways after a walk-off 8-run comeback victory against Scituate, their only walk-off win of the season. And looking to continue better pitching ways as they have 2 straight zeros on the board for the pitching staff. It's Patrick Gallet on the bump. The righty from Ole Miss takes over for a tie at the top of the leaderboard, his 12th appearance of the year. A 4.96 ERA and 16 1/3 innings pitched. One of those few guys, Ethan, that's been around since day one.
Yeah, you know, there are a few of them on this roster, certainly a whole lot more than last year for the Gatemen, and Gallet's been one of those guys that Smythe can trust in that bullpen all season long, coming off of a Cape League Pitcher of the Week award a couple of weeks ago.
He's been electric. His last appearance, 1 2/3 scoreless, back on the 1st of August, 2 days ago at Chatham. That was their most recent loss. He's the third arm out of the bullpen. Gallet faces Blink Cavill to get things started. Cavill 2 for 2, a homer and a single. Righty on lefty, and the first pitch is low. A hit in every inning for Mitch Carricker's Harbor Hawks offense today. They scored 3 in the first, 5 in the second. The Gatemen on 4 hits with just 2 runs. Both came back in the second inning. Here we are, bottom 5. 1-0 deal to Cavill, and that scoots all the way to the backstop. 2-0 count. Cavill hit that solo shot to lead off back in the second inning. 2-0 deal to him. And a called strike at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. As a matter of fact, Cavill has led off every at-bat that he's had today.
I believe he started his summer with Falmouth.
Yeah, one of the few guys that's been switched throughout the league. 2-1. He goes chasing on a curveball low. 2-2. Gatemen had just 1 on their roster this year. That was Gio Cueto, who was a Brewster Whitecap, then a Wareham Gateman, and now a Los Angeles Dodger.
How about that sequence of events?
Yeah, got picked up as one of the catchers in the rotation for the rookie ball squad in the L.A. organization. 2-2 pitch to Cavill, and the lefty scoots his hips back as a pitch runs inside for ball 3. A full count, first batter here in the bottom of the 5th.
I think they got a piece of the home plate umpire as well.
Mike Hinojosa. Talked with Jacob Jarrell, who caught yesterday's game after a fun win, and told me a couple of his favorite umpires. Mike Hinojosa and Jeff Merzel, his 2 favorite to work with behind home plate. Full count offer on the way. Swinging a roller off his foot, a foul ball. Cavill stays alive. That's a relationship I hadn't really thought about all too much this summer. The fact that, especially a guy like Jacob Gerald, who's a more talkative young man as a ball player, has to have some sort of relationship with the guy calling balls and strikes right behind him.
And you think with the rotation of the Cape Cod umpires and the lack of games in this league, only 40, that it would be hard to form those kinds of relationships, but good to see that he's been able to do that.
3-2 from Gallet. Swinging a line drive. It curls into left center field and drops in for a hit. Rounding first and stopping there. Cavill, his third hit of the afternoon.
Yeah, he's had himself quite the day. Aside from those 2 base hits, the home run as well. He's been on it.
2 singles and a homer for Cavill. And he tosses it over to the 9-hole hitter, Mason White. White a strikeout and a fielder's choice. Only one guy has yet to reach base in this lineup for Hyannis today. First pitch to the lefty, brushes him off the dish. Fastball up and in for ball 1. Eddie Saldivar, who was the guy to finish last inning, so you won't see him in this frame most likely. He is a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. Runner on first, no outs, bottom 5. Here's the 1-0 deal. Swinging a line drive, same spot. It's curling out to left center field into the gap, and it rolls all the way to the wall. Picking it up is Turner. He spins and fires in and holds Cavill to third base. Pulling up to second with a double is Mason White. Back-to-back hits to start off the bottom of the 5th for Hyannis.
It's been production up and down this order for Hyannis tonight.
From Florida State, number 12, Jackson West.
4 extra base hits for this Hyannis Harbor Hawk squad. Otherwise, a bunch of singles. Hyannis now with 11 hits in the afternoon. This is the bottom of the 5th. 2 runners in scoring position and a third straight lefty for the right-handed Patrick Gallet here in his first inning of relief. Still searching for an out. Bottom of the 5th. And he takes on the leadoff hitter Jackson West, who's 1 for 3. Cavill on third. Mason White on second. West, a second half addition out of Florida State for Hyannis. Infield in here. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Late on the heat. Lights not becoming the main source of illumination here. Clear skies, sunny day, but that sun now setting behind foul territory to the left side here. 0-1. And a fastball sails all the way to the backstop, ricochets back to Jacob Gerald, and none of the runners will move. Smartly so. How about that pinball action?
Yeah, even with the padding lining the backstop here, it didn't kill that ricochet at all. And maybe a cross up there as Gerald goes out there to talk with Gallet.
It was a fastball that just sailed all the way to the screen. Luckily caught a chunk of that padding and ended up right back in Jacob Gerald's direction. If that ball jolts in any direction other than right back to Gerald, and it's easily past him and most likely a run. 1 run has scored on a wild pitch today, as Hyannis still leads at 8-2. 2 runners in scoring position, a 1-1 count, no outs, bottom 5. Infield on the edge of the grass, 1-1. And he fouls a curveball away, back to the screen.
Worth noting that Hyannis is the best hitting team with runners in scoring position this year. I mean, that should come as no surprise based on what we've already seen here tonight. 273 as a squad in the RISP category.
3 for 7 tonight. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gallet curls and unfurls. Swinging a line drive, shallow center field, it's dropping, and Parker will have to take it on a hop. Cavill scores, pulling up to third is White. The relay comes in and ricochets away. Jacob Gerald has to find it, but Cavill decides to stay at third last second. Moving on to second on that errant throw is Jackson West. We'll call it a single and an advancement on the throw. An RBI knock, and with no outs, a run has already come in. It's 3 straight hits to start the bottom of the 5th for Hyannis.
We'll see who they tag the error on. It looked like it got by Putnam as well. We'll see. But, talking about the approach of this Harbor Hawks lineup, it is so consistent throughout. Yes, there are guys that are more akin to the pop, but everyone up and down this order is such a contact guy, and they have a terrific 2-strike approach. We just saw it there with Jackson West, choking up on the bat, not trying to do too much, and just sending it right back from where it came.
Gallet's only allowed as much as 3 hits in 1 outing this year. That was in a 3-inning day 2 outings ago against YD. Here he is, 3 straight hits to start off the bottom of the 5th. This follows up Jacob Faulkner, who had a great day in relief through 2 scoreless innings for Wareham. So it's 9-2 Hyannis. Still no outs, runner on 2nd and 3rd. First pitch is swung on and clubbed to right field by Josh Tate. And on the catch, making the play is Chapman. Tagging from 3rd is White. The throw is nearly in time, and running into the catcher, Gerald, is White. Here's the tag at home plate. They're going to call him out. Josh Tate arguing the call now. I believe Jacob Gerald's throw, or Chapman's throw, took him in front of the lane, so he had to get in front of the runner. And here comes the third base coach.
Well, this is interesting. Not to mention, White made no effort to slide on that play. Yet they will argue that Gerald blocked the plate. But with that throw from Chapman coming in, it possibly took him into the path of the runner. And if that's the case, then Gerald did nothing wrong. And now Mitch Carricker talking about this with the home plate umpire, Mikey Nahosa.
Well, Jackson West moved up to 3rd. So Josh Tate flies out to right field. Chapman throws it in, and I think Mason White just mistimed how slow he could jog to home plate. So the throw was actually there pretty close to on time.
Yeah, White was slowing up as he was reaching home. And as he bumped into Gerald, he never touched home plate. He sat there next to home, possibly recovering from the impact. And then he went to touch home plate. By that time, Gerald applied the tag. It's almost like he thought he was going to get some sort of interference call given to him.
So over at third base right now is assistant coach Sean Riley arguing that call, and now finally the conversation is over. So Josh Tate lines out into a double play, a weird one at that. Should say 2 outs on the board. There's a runner on 3rd. Kane Kepley at the dish. First pitch upstairs and outside. He's 1 for 1. Single in the first, a hit by pitch, and then a walk. On third base is West. With 2 away, bottom 5. It's 9-2. Pitch from Gallet. Fastball down the middle, but called ball 2.
Well, that's the 3rd outfield assist for Chapman this summer.
(2-0) and a called strike on the inside edge, plate high. Two and 1 with 2 away. Gallet stretches and fires. Down the middle, 2-2. Three straight hits in the inning, but a fly-out double play. Now Gallet can get out of it relatively unscathed. 1 run has scored. He gets the sign. From the full, he rocks and delivers. Curveball swung on and rolled out to second. Desero gobbles, throws in time, and that's out number 3. Well, 3 hits, but a fly out and then a wacky double play on a throw to home plate, and then he gets the rollover. So 1 run scores on 3 hits, 1 left on base. It's 9-2 Hyannis as we head to the top of the 6th on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else. Dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
3 hits, 1 run scores. Bottom 5 for Hyannis. So, away half of the 6th here at McKeon Park. Wareham Gatemen's final visit to the helm of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who lead the season series 3-1, and the Gatemen are down 9-2. They got to get the bats going, Ethan. They've only got 4 today.
Yeah, just those couple of runs. They played it in that second inning, the early home run, the RBI from Hyannis as well. It's been rough going here, and now they've got the reliever in Reed Mooring. So hopefully they can get something going here against this right-hander out of UC Santa Barbara.
Mooring came in to finish off that last inning for the starter, Aaron Mazulam. Mazulam's final stat line, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. So, 7-run advantage for Hyannis, who broke a 2-inning scoreless streak off an effort from Jacob Faulkner from the Wareham Gatemen bullpen, with 3 straight hits to start off the bottom of the 5th. We'll see if Wareham can respond. They haven't gotten a hit, or at least a run, since that second inning. Murph Gray, Jacob Jarrell, Reese Chapman duo. Gray to lead things off, 0 for 2 today. He snapped an 0 for 8 yesterday, going 2 for 5 in that big skid snapping win. So the 6'4" right-handed third baseman digs in, and he takes on Reed Mooring in his second inning of relief. Righty on righty, first pitch, and a cut fastball misses inside. 1-0. Gray, a .326 hitter, good for 5th in the league. 1-0 pitch. Runs inside as Gray juts his hips back, avoiding the pitch. Ball 2. Sun completely set on a beautiful afternoon for baseball here at Hyannis. 2-0 on the way. Curveball and he chases. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Madison Walker, third member of our team, mentioned the candles and the seances and the dances that this team performed yesterday as they united to spark some offense. 2-1, and a curveball swung on and hit hard. A 3-hopper into the mid of the shortstop White. A jump throw to first. It's not in time. Like the effort, but it's an infield single for Gray. A leadoff knock.
Yeah, great effort there from White. A Jeter-esque jump throw. Now, interesting how they decided to rally around the most unlikely of heroes in Griffin O'Connor.
Yes, who they call the team dad.
That is what they call him.
I guess it's just because he's got a dad bod and facial hair.
Yeah, I guess so.
They said, close enough. He is the oldest one on the team after all.
That's true. He will be a senior at Georgetown coming up.
5 years academically. Murph Gray leads off of first modestly, and Jacob Jarrell steps up. He's 0 for 2. First pitch, righty on righty still, and a curveball simmers upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Today they continue this fandom by rallying around the guy who really is the one to unite this team offensively, and that's the hitting coach, Mike Mobbs. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball outside, a 2-0 count.
Yeah, just incredible to see all of the players wearing Mobbism shirts today during batting practice.
Yep. We had Byram Hott wearing a Deaf to Excuses shirt. 2-0 offering, swing and a roller out to short again. Charging White. He bobbles and there's no play. Both runners safe. So Gray on to second, and scooting over to first is Jarrell. 2 base runners to start this inning. How about we continue this conversation about offense? I think it's working.
I think it is as well. Gatemen catch a break that time around, and now let's see what Chapman can do.
First error from Hyannis today. Gatemen have already donated one of their own. So, Jarrell on first, Gray on second. 2 runners on, and a fresh slate to the lefty, Reese Chapman. Hitless in 1 try. He got plunked last time up. Mooring toes the third base side of the rubber, looks to second and sets. And the pitch to home. Swing and a miss, and a foul tip that I think caught a piece of the catcher Peebles, so time is called. Ouch.
Yeah, that got him good. He's going to need a minute.
Yeah, I just think it Yep, that caught a piece of him. I won't specify where.
Right in the peebles.
Are we allowed to say that on air?
Rather ask for forgiveness.
Yep. Well, the dare I say, joke lent itself. But, man, I mean, catchers are just
the toughest humans on the field. I mean, they get down there every single day.
They get beat up season after season. And thank God Peebles just added to this roster, too. So with this offense that's been sparked over this, uniting over the mobisms of Mike Mobs. We had the Deaf to Excuses shirt on Byram Hot. I saw the you got to eat your veggies before you get the cookies, obviously. The no
TOB around me.
What's your favorite?
I think that might be my favorite one.
No TOB around me.
Although design-wise, I really like the veggies and the cookies one because it's a strike zone with veggies on the outside parts and then a cookie in the middle.
And demographically, too, with where players are recruited, there is a large portion on this team that are Christian. And with that, a lot of Mike Mob's shirts say Team Jesus on the front. So that is also a part of how this team has all unified under one belief or one philosophy, if you will.
Yeah, definitely faith is a big rallying point for this team. There's always a team prayer down the lines before the ball game.
Or team dances.
That too.
All right, Peebles back in behind home plate. First and second occupied. Top 6, 9-2 Hyannis. And Wareham's Reese Chapman at the dish. 0-1 offer. And a fastball painted low, but it's ball 1. Chapman looking to heat back up. 1 for 16 in his last 4 games coming into this contest. 1-1, no outs. Pitch from Mooring, just outside. 2-1. It's funny how bought in these coaches are, too, and into this fanatics or entertainment that the roster's created here. Mooring sets at the belt, ball and glove. Another peek to second. Here's the 2-1. Curveball, swing and a miss. Way over the floater there for strike 2.
We once had an interesting discussion with Mike Mobs, during batting practice and talking about the pregame playlist and how Mobs, prefers it to be country. The players like certain other genres of music. And he said, well, you can't let the inmates run the asylum. However, sometimes that might work.
2-2 curveball is swung on and topped foul. A lot of off speeds to Chapman here.
As we've seen, the last couple of days, the antics have reached an all-time high with snapping a skid and doing anything they can to just get out of it. Players got themselves.
It reminds me of a specific movie scene, and I might be, a little incorrect with some of the details. As Mooring's ready with 2 runners on. Here's the 2-2 offering on the way. Swing and a miss. Chapman chases the low stuff. It's a strikeout for out number 1. Have you ever watched The One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
No, I have not.
Now, I could be totally wrong. I'm too young to say that I am a cinematic genius after all, but I believe there's a scene in there, and it's Jack Nicholson, great actor, and I believe he's in an asylum or, some sort of imprisonment, and he was beckoning the lady who ran the room that he was in to turn on the baseball game. I believe it was a Yankees game. She did not oblige, so we had a funny reaction to it. 1 away. Eli Putnam batting 6th today. He's 1 for 2, and he's swinging the hot stick as he digs in. The pitch, and he chases a curveball. They're not seeing that slider right now. They're just chasing it.
No, they're not. They've got to be more disciplined at the plate here. Down by 7 runs. They've got a good rally going, though.
So instead of, finding a way to turn on the TV, which was not allowed, and watching the Yankees game, Jack Nicholson's character just decided to broadcast this imaginary game himself. 0-1. And a fastball is just sliced behind home plate. Putnam right below it. It's an 0-2 count. So he starts broadcasting this game to his own excitement. And bit by bit, the rest of the inmates, if you will, joined in to this fake theater, if you will. And, that scene really reminiscent of the Wareham Gatemen.
Okay. I was wondering where you were going with this.
in terms of how they can entertain themselves. 0-2 pitch. Putnam chases a slider into the dirt, and he's down on 3 pitches. 2 away on back-to-back strikeouts. And that's really, in its essence, what they did yesterday. They were in a 5-game skid. Mind you, the first 3 innings of the game looked rough. They were down 8-0 at one point, but they had as much fun as you could ask for a team in the middle of a rough stretch in the back end of this season. And that, I really feel, willed its way into a win.
This team has maintained its approach.
First proposition to Antonio Hyannis, and he offers at the slider and comes up swinging.
You know, talking to Mobs, during the 6-game winning streak that the Gatemen had in the first part of the season, there will be peaks and there will be valleys, so he said. And you have to maintain an even-keeled way about things during both of those stretches.
0-1 offering, and a curveball swung on and rolled right into the mid of the third baseman Ditalo, but he bobbles, picks up, throws to first. The throw is low, but picked out of the dust by Cavill, and in time. So the Gatemen had 2 base runners to start this inning. A pair of strikeouts and a ground out ended. So that'll send it to the next half inning. With that, we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still a 7-run advantage for Hyannis on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Welcome into our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off in 2024. And our first guest, as we get to know you, is Tony Pluta, a right-handed pitcher out of Arizona. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Tony. Well, you're from Chicago, so what brought you out west to Arizona?
So my recruiting coordinator at Arizona knew my high school coach really well and knows that whole area very well. So it's just kind of how I got connected with them.
Gotcha. So they reached out to you in high school. You told me you topped out at 95 in high school, so pretty easy to get noticed?
Yeah, that definitely helps. But, going to all the tournaments and all that kind of thing helps.
Okay, well, on top of that, you've developed some accolades in your short career in college baseball so far. You were in the Northwoods last year, and then college ball treated you well in 2024. Your spring was pretty fun. How about that Pac-12 championship? What was that like?
It was amazing, especially being the last Pac-12 championship. It was an awesome feeling to win the last Pac-12 game ever.
Yeah, and then Brennan Summerhill, your Gateman teammate, hit the walk-off. So is it cool to share that moment with your summer teammate as well?
Oh yeah, it's great. Every moment with Summer is something special, so it's great to have a teammate like that.
Speaking of summer, you've been to a lot of different baseball destinations. This is kind of your first one for an extended period of time out east. Where does Wareham rank all time?
It's pretty great. I mean, the Northwoods was definitely its own thing, but I love Wareham. It's a great spot to be.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. We made it to home plate, so my final question for you, what's the goal this summer?
Just pitch well, throw strikes, and get guys out.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Kyle.
That's our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. We'll catch you guys next week. 9 runs on 12 hits as the Hyannis Harborhawks lead it in their final meeting with the Wareham Gatemen in the 2024 regular season. It's seed number 1 in Hyannis and seed number 3 in Wareham from the West Division. A lot of playoff storylines to talk about here as the Gatemen look to claw their way back from 7 down here. And they go to their 4th arm out of the bullpen. It's David Eckes, the lefty, out of the bullpen from FIU, a 6.75 ERA for his 4th appearance. So it's 2 earned runs and 2 2/3. They could really use a 0 here.
Oh, yes, definitely. And Eckes really did well his last time out. We saw him at Bourne on July 31st, an inning and a third of scoreless ball. One of the few lefties brought in the latter half of this season, just over the last couple of weeks, to really balance out that pen and give Ryan Smythe some southpaw options.
So I guess we'll have to face the meat of the order here. Michael Ditalo batting 4th with Eddie Pelk and Cannon Peebles behind him. Ditalo 2 for 3, and his only out was a scorched line drive to the third baseman, Murph Gray. Lefty on righty in the first offer. Scoots inside, ball 1, and the bottom of the 6th is underway here at McKeon Park. Eckes turns and deals the 1-0. A little closer to the dish, but a fastball just inside. 2-0 count to start things off against Ditalo. Two-0 deal. And down the pipe, there's a strike as Ditalo jumps, I think in disagreement, thought it was high. 2-1 count, first batter of the bottom of the 6th. Eckes under the spotlight of the artificial illumination here as the next pitch is delivered, swung on and clubbed to shallow center. Billy Parker makes the snag. 1 down.
Center fielder
Eddie Pelk's turn. He's 1 for 9 in his last 3 games. Comes in today, though, and has been productive. An RBI fielder's choice in the first, walked aboard in the second, and singled in the first. One of many who has reached base multiple times today for Hyannis. 1 away, first offer to the lefty. It's a called strike at the inside edge. Oh, 0-1 offering. And a slider fools him. 0-2 count. Scores from around the league. Bourne is officially a playoff team, and they continue their winning ways. They lead at 7-1, top 4 versus Orleans. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, and the pitch from Hyannis. He gets a swing and a miss. Ball pops loose. Gerald confirms and tosses to first. It's a strikeout, and there's 2 away.
Nice quick inning here so far for Hyannis.
Oh, don't jinx it.
See if he can finish it off.
3 strikeouts for Gatemen pitchers today. Just not a high rate of swing and miss from them. And I mean, that's kind of what you get when you face Hyannis.
Yeah, a group that knows how to put the ball in play. We've talked about their on-base abilities, leading the league in on-base percentage, of course.
I'm just looking at their team's offensive stats on the year. They rank high in a lot of things. First pitch, it's a called strike. Here's Cannon Peebles, newly added catcher out of Tennessee. He's 1 for 2. 2-run single back in the second. Also lined out to third base. Next pitch, an off-speed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I think the immediate difference we notice here with Hyannis being one of 2 relievers who's seemed effective so far through multiple batters is that he's just starting with early strikes.
Yeah, he's attacking hitters. Deceptive stuff so far.
1-1 offering. Just outside, tried to sneak the slider back door. 12 hits for Hyannis today. They're 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They've left 6 on. 2-1, swung on and skied behind home plate. No, Putnam finding it in foul territory, and they both lost it. Everybody lost it. That one dropped 10 feet to the left of Eli Putnam.
Yeah, just this dark sky and the lights, it's easy to lose a ball.
Now, that wasn't an Eli Putnam thing. I was basing it off of where Gerald looked. He popped his mask off and turned around. Putnam looked up to his right, and Johan Desero started ambling to his left. No one found it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Here's the pitch to Peebles. And fisted foul. Staying alive. Other scores from around the league. Kitsuit looking to get back in the win column. They haven't won a game in 5 afternoons. They're on top 7-2 at Falmouth right now. 2-2 offering. And the heat is way high, a full count with 2 away and the base is empty. Bottom 6, and it's 9-2. Hyannis looking to add to their 7-run advantage over the Wareham Gatemen. Hyannis turns. He's ready, and the payoff. Swinging a line drive out to right. Trailing back at the wall is Chapman, and that one is off the base of the wall. Rounding first and turning towards second, and pulling up with a 2-out double is Peebles, his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
Just flipped that one to the opposite way, and that ball had a whole lot of carry on it. Perhaps the wind helping it out, but also a tough play for Turner, trying to play that one off the wall and get it back in as quickly as he could.
Barely got the barrel on it, a pitch that kind of jammed him. But that's the power of this Hyannis offense. Team that's 3rd in the league in average, 1st in runs, 1st in on base, and so on. They turn it over to Eddie Saldivar, another second half addition. Only guy did not reach base for Hyannis today. He's 0 for 3. And the first pitch is swung on and popped up. Mid-distance left field line. Murph Gray, the 3rd baseman, squeezes the mitt. 1 pitch to retire him. So 4 batters is all it takes for Hyannis. A smooth inning in relief for the 4th arm out of the pen for Wareham. That flips it to the top of the 7th. It's 9-2. But before we do that, let's send it to the 3rd member of our team, Madison Walker, for more.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I know this game has not been going exactly how we wanted it to, but look on the bright side, we didn't play a doubleheader today. So many other teams in our league did, and I think that definitely could have effect on these next couple games for us. I know Falmouth did with Kitsuit, and we'll we'll face them tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of get back on the right track tomorrow, because I know today is not particularly how we want it to go. We have minimal number hits, which has been an ongoing trend for us recently. I know we have been able to make comebacks before, but I think that keeping our hits low and honestly being overly aggressive at the plate could be our issue. This is why we've had so many strikeouts leading up to these games, because we're too aggressive and we swing at things that should not be swung at. So if we need to, we just need to take our time, slow down, and we can come back just like we did yesterday and hopefully tomorrow in our last regular season game. So that's all I got for you for now. I'm going to throw it back to you, Kyle.
Thanks, Madison. And yeah, she has a very good point that this team might be a little too aggressive right now, looking to produce some offense. So with that, we bring on a new guest to the broadcast. Look for some good luck here. It's Kyler Armstrong. Second try at this. Kyler, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back.
Dude, it's great to have you. Last time we chatted, I believe it was a rough outing in the early portions of the season, an 11-1 loss to Brewster. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, it does. It was actually a 7-inning game.
Yeah,
pretty quick night for us.
Shortened by the mercy rule. So we bring you on and hope for some good luck. And with that, there's also a new pitcher on the bump for Hyannis. They go to the left-handed reliever, Dominic Carbone, out of Coastal Carolina. So far for Hyannis, just a couple of outings, 1 1/3. He's given up 3 earned runs. So how about that, Kyler? What do you think? We attack this new pitcher on the bump?
I know. Yeah, we got Nate Early coming up. Had a home run tonight. Looks pretty good. Hopefully he can attack the pitcher early off the start.
Well, Kyler Armstrong, you're a photographer for this team. The only one left, I believe, right? As
yes, sir.
Keegan Maloney is left. I can't believe that.
I know. Summer's coming to a close.
It's quick. This season has just flown by. All right, so Nate Early up. Did you get good photos of his homer earlier today?
I did. I got right near the plate after he was rounding third. Got the high five with Mobs. As you can see, he's running out there. Yeah, some pretty good pictures. Can't wait to edit them and get them up on social media.
Sweet. All right, Dominic Carbone, first inning of relief. From the stretch, he gets the sign. First pitch to Nate Early, top 7 here. And it's a curveball upstairs, yep. Waiting for the call there. This is Mike Hinojosa. 1 ball and no strikes to Early, the lefty out of Louisville. He's 2 for 2 with a homer and a single. 1-0. And it's down low. Favorite moments this year? Was the walk-off from yesterday one of them?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I wish it wasn't a bases loaded walk in the bottom of the ninth. Probably a little bit of better celebration, but yeah, it was definitely cool. The All-Star game was pretty fun too. That was ended on a walk-off, so I got some cool shots of that. But all in all, this summer's been great. I met so many great people.
2-0 pitch is inside, a 3-0 count. Carbone quickly kicks and delivers the 3-0. And it's down low. Early on 4 pitches, walks aboard to start off the top of the 7th as the Gatemen are down 9-2 with no outs. Yeah, little anticlimactic for you. And I guess in your line of work, you're trying to capture all the exciting moments as best you can. But still some fun stuff. How about that Gatorade shot, the shower?
Yeah, that was definitely, those are definitely probably some of my favorite shots to get, because you can capture the emotion of just about anything in those situations.
Billy Parker stepping up with a runner on first. First pitch is a called strike at the inside edge. Parker out of Army, just his 3rd game for Wareham, and he's 0 for 1, a strikeout and a fielder's choice today. Nate Early, a small lead off of first. Lefty on righty here in the offer. Bounces into the dirt. Early's going to dash to second. Here's the throw from Peebles. It is in time to get him. A foot first slide, but not quick enough for Early. There's 1 away and the bases are emptied. Well, let's ignore that. Say that you don't bring any bad luck to this broadcast, huh?
Yeah.
How about your time at Ole Miss? You're going into your sophomore year there, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'll ask you about some fun stuff that you've done there in just a second. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 away. Here's the pitch to Parker. Swinging a roller, hooked foul. Football. It's the SEC, man. Is that fun?
It's unreal football. Probably some of the best football you can get. We have a great team this year, so I'm really excited to see what happens.
Is it true that it just means more?
Yes, it does. Yep. It just means more.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes is Parker. 2 up, 2 down essentially here. Facing the minimum so far is Carbone. So they flip it to the top of the order. Johan Desero is hitless in 3 tries today. Any favorite moments at Ole Miss?
Yeah. So last year we played LSU. Came off a loss to Alabama and beat LSU. Stormed the field.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the coolest moments as a photographer, videographer. Ended up back in the locker room. Probably one of the coolest experiences I was able to get as a freshman.
Getting in the locker room as a freshman, that must feel intense after a big win like that.
Yeah, it was. Definitely a little starstruck, but it was cool. It was really cool.
Desero climbs in. First pitch, a fastball on the inside edge, a called strike. Stands with an open stance in the right-handed batter's box. 0-1 with 2 away and the offer. A bouncer low. 1-1 count. And Colby Turner on deck. He's 1 for 3. Gatemen just 5 hits today, and they're down 9-2. 13 hits from Hyannis today. Your guy from Ole Miss struggled a little bit today, Patrick Allais.
Yeah. Patty did. He's been doing well.
Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. 1-2, pardon me.
Patty's been doing well. I mean, everybody has their days, but coming off Cape League Pitcher of the Week.
Yeah.
Having some really great outings.
1-2 with 2 down. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes. And that will retire the side. So we flip it to the bottom of the 7th. Kyler Armstrong, it was a pleasure having you on today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be back in a moment on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Welcome into our next installment of the Wareham Walk-Off, and this time we're joined by a Wareham Gatemen infielder out of Fresno State, Murph Gray. You ready to roll?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Well, how was the Cape Trip choose your destination this summer?
Honestly, pretty great. I love it out here. The weather's nice. The people are great, and I'm playing with some of the best of the best, so I love it.
Warm weather, too, I guess kind of akin to California being from there?
Yeah, pretty similar. I'd say it's more humid here, but I mean, it's more dry heat in California.
Gotcha. All right, well, before you were Mountain West Freshman of the Year, you had a pretty good high school athletic career. I heard you played basketball. Were you a good hooper?
Yeah, I was a decent hooper. I played some center, some power forward. I did all right.
Okay, you were kind of forcing that center role. I mean, you're 6'4", 6'5". I guess you were the tallest kid on the team?
Oh, yeah, for sure the tallest on the team, so I kind of got forced into that.
Okay, well, another thing that you did that you don't do now was pitch in high school. Is it true that you tossed a perfect game?
Yeah, so that was our first game of the season. I tossed a perfect game, and it was honestly just kind of weird and surreal since I wasn't going to be a pitcher at the next level, so it was just...
Okay, and then where did that transition happen where you decided to just become a hitter?
I want to say about my junior year of high school, I was more focused on hitting, just becoming a better hitter, kind of bettering myself, and then I love hitting. It's my passion. So.
Well, you're pretty good at it. You're on a hot streak right now, and you hit 3 home runs in a matter of 48 hours at the beginning of this week, too. So we're glad to have you. My final note on that, to get to know you before we end this session, your birth certificate says Tristan. So where did the name Murph come from?
So the name Murph comes from the movie Like Mike, one of my favorite movies. Little white kid in there named Murph. Super pale, super white, and then when I was born, I was the same way, super pale, so the nickname just kind of stuck ever since.
Back to action here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It's 9-2 Hyannis, and back with us, Ethan Eibe. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How was your chat with Kyler Armstrong?
It was great. He wanted a second try. He felt like he sounded nervous when he hopped on earlier in the season, so it was going to have him on, and we just had a nice little chat. It was fun.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Well, Gatemen down 7 runs. It's a 13-5 hit advantage for Hyannis today. Kind of the story, really. Second inning of relief for David Eckes. Meanwhile, some changes in the field. Byram Hott hit for Desero last inning, so he steps in over at second. And over in left field is Sam White. Colby Turner moves to second, pardon me, so Hott the DH. Eckes' first pitch of the inning to Blake Cavell, and that one is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Cavell 3 for 3, a homer and 2 singles. 1-0 deal. And fouled straight back. 1-1. Eckes throwing away in innings that would be normal for a reliever to toss in, as we're in the bottom of the 7th. Third pitch curveball just inside, a 2-1 count for Cavell's 4th at-bat of the day. But man, this bullpen has been stressed lately.
And not a whole lot of length out of the starting pitching, especially over this last week or so.
2-1 offering. A fastball swung on and clubbed out to center field. Parker twisting and turning at the fence. He makes the catch. Allowed out number 1.
Man, Blake Cavell's had himself a night. Those 3 hits and that fly ball almost carrying on out of here.
First time being retired today. So with 1 away, it's Mason White's turn. He's 0 for 1. Pardon me, 1 for 2. Just doubled in his last at-bat. 1 of 4 extra base hits for Hyannis today. Lefty on lefty, one down. Eckes turns, kicks, and fires. Way upstairs. Ball one.
Well, I was busy while I was gone.
I believe you are bringing us some important information, Ethan.
Probably the most important information of the broadcast.
1-0 deal. On the way. Swing and a miss. Got him with the slider. 1-1.
You know what time it is. It's time for our doggo of the day. And it is Kenzie, an 8-year-old Australian Shepherd who belongs to Lynn, a Yarmouth native. And she was very kind to let me have a few moments with her wonderful, adorable pup. Very smart dog as well.
1-1 pitch outside. 2-1 count. Second batter at the bottom of the seventh. Mason White at the dish. One away. Eckes turns and deals the 2-1. Curveball just inside. 3-1 count.
Now, Lynn and Kenzie were sitting just off to our left, and we've heard them multiple times tonight. Meaning we've heard Kenzie multiple times tonight, barking and at just about anyone who was walking by.
3-1 offer. A fastball is clubbed behind home plate and foul, a full count.
And Lynn actually came prepared for that. She had her shirt pocket full of treats. And so every single time that Kenzie would mouth off at someone, she'd give her some treats just to calm her down. And that's not all.
Full count offer. Swinging a line drive softly to right field. It rolls in for a base hit. A one-out knock as White's aboard with his second hit of the afternoon. So you think Kenzie maybe figured out that she gets fed every time she barks?
It's a smart dog, and I'll tell you why. It knew the paw trick.
Ooh, okay.
I stuck my hand out just to, get a sense. This dog was very, cool, calm, and collected, so I had no fear. And I was just, petting Kenzie and stuck my hand out, and she put her paw right in my palm.
Wow. No vocal command?
I didn't even have to ask. And then she put her leg back down and looked at her master and said, treat, with her eyes, and said, look, I did it. I did the thing. Now give me the thing.
First pitch to the righty, Jackson West is down low.
This is a transactional relationship here. I give you trick, you give me treat. Come on now.
That's totally fair. You capture the essence of a dog so well.
Thank you.
1-0 with one away and a runner on bottom seven. Here's the pitch to West, and it's a swing and a line drive way out to left field. Looking up at the wall, and it's off the base of the wall. Rounding third is the lead runner, White. He's going to head on home. Here's the relay throw from Hyannis. It's on target, but it skips away to the backstop. Running to third on the throw, and stopping there with an RBI is Jackson West. That one nearly left the ballpark, and it's 10-2 Hyannis.
He really sat back on the breaking ball that time and launched it to left field. There was no hope for Sam White going back on that ball. It was just a matter of looking up and seeing where it was going to hit off. Eckes unfortunately not able to back up that play. That throw snuck through Gerald's mitt.
That was a good throw, but skipped to the backstop. So back-to-back hits and another run here. 3 runs in the first for Hyannis, 5 in the second. 1 in the fifth, and now 1 more here in the seventh. That's how they lead it 10-2 with 15 hits on the afternoon. So Josh Tate, I believe, is the one to step up to the dish. Might be a new face. I believe it is. JP Acosta, just his second game added to the roster a couple days ago. Right-handed bat will take over here. And he fouls the first pitch off. Oh, he places Jackson West over at third. New base runner, pardon me. And it is still Josh Tate at the dish. Tate today, 1 for 3. Swing on the second offer, a line drive shallow right. Running on and making the catch is Chapman, faking the tag from third. As the throw skips to the backstop from Chapman. Now coming in is West, and there is no play. They just gifted him a run there.
I mean, that is just inexcusable, unfortunately, for Jacob Gerald. It was a beauty of a throw from Reese Chapman. We saw the runner bluff at third base, Acosta, and that throw just went right underneath his mitt. He didn't go down to try and block the ball. He thought he could just nab it in the air and unfortunately misjudged it. And Eckes, of course, wasn't there to back up the play. Didn't think there would be a play to back up.
So I guess a sac fly of sorts for Josh Tate, as he brings in JP Acosta, who replaced Jackson West. Now it's Kane Kepley at the dish. He's 1 for 2, hit by pitch and a walk with a single. 2 away, no runners on. And the second offering's a called strike. 1-1 count to Kepley. So the Gatemen with 2 errors now. 1-1 offer from Eckes. Check swing, he didn't go around. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Inside. Ball 3. Kepley leads the league in walks with 37. That is 10 more than the next. 3-1 pitch. Called strike in the inside edge. Full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Bottom 7, 2 runs have scored. It's 11-2. The pitch, check swing, and it rolls foul. So Kepley working away here. Three and 2. Second try at it. Lefty on lefty. And the pitch. Just inside. Walk number 39 on the year. Kepley aboard with his second walk of the afternoon.
Most walks in the wood-bat era with number 38. Give him a hand.
And with that walk, I believe Kane Kepley just set a record.
The most walks in the wood-bat era with 38 in his Cape Cod League season. He just smashed a Cape League record right there.
Yep, with a game and a half to go as well. So with 2 away and a runner on that walk, David Eckes' day is done. So we'll step away for a moment as Eric Luxus is out of the dugout, and he'll invite this new arm out of the pen. Pitching change in the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Edition of the Wareham Walk-Off, and this time we're with an outfielder from Louisville, Michael Lippy. You ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Well, Michael, like a lot of players on this team, you've been around the block. You're from Wisconsin, highly ranked player, and then you were in the Northwoods. So what brought you to the Cape?
I think had a pretty good year in the woods, and my coaching staff just told me it's just the next step in the process of college baseball, so they decided to send me here. So, I mean, it's a blessing that I got sent here. It's a blessing I'm still here. So.
Gotcha. So what about the big difference between Midwest baseball and the East Coast? Is this your first time being akin to the East Coast, other than playing in the ACC?
Yeah, I mean, this is my first time in the East Coast. I would say, like, playing baseball here and in Wisconsin, it's pretty similar in a way. I mean, obviously the competition is way higher out here in the Cape and the woods and woods in Wisconsin and everything. It's much. The talent isn't as deep as it runs in the Cape.
All right, well, my final question now that we're a home plate, which is a familiar spot for you. Yeah. Your favorite memories playing baseball here in Wareham so far?
Favorite memories probably just like the bus rides and going on that winning streak that we had earlier in the season. I think that was like a lot of fun just to, baseball's a lot more fun when you're winning games and stuff, no matter like how you're doing personally or anything. So, I mean, it's just great team, great environment. So I'd say that winning streak and just all the bus rides have been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so,
seems like it. Well, can't help but agree. Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
All right, that's Michael Lippy. I'm Kyle Marchak. We'll catch you guys for our next edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. It's 11-2, Hyannis. We come back from a pitching change, and it's Jake Kubler to take over. Righty out of Kansas, making his second appearance of the year. What can we expect out of him, Ethan?
Well, Kubler, a guy who's had a couple of appearances this year. He's a pretty solid one. He originally attended University of South Carolina upstate, joining the Gatemen here later on in the season. He'll be headed to the Kansas Jayhawks as well coming up next year. He made his debut against Bourne back on July 31st, gave up 1 earned run in his 1 inning. He's got some pretty good stuff. Fastball and slider really work well together, so let's see if he can keep the Harper Hawks off the board for the rest of this frame.
It was David Eckes who just left the ball game in his second inning of relief, and he gave up a walk to Kane Kepley, a historic one at that. In the wood-bat era, he just broke the record for most walks in a single season, his 38th on the year.
Now, in the Cape League's entire history, Andy Westervelt of Harwich in 1975 has the league-wide record with 55 walks in a single season. Now, the wood-bat era began in 1985.
2 away, first pitch, and it's Michael Detallo at the dish. That one down low.
I don't have it handy whose record he snapped from the wood-bat era, unfortunately.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 away and a runner on. Bottom 7, 9-run lead for Hyannis. Swing and a high hopper to the left side. Gray snags it, throws to first in time. That'll retire the side. Quick finish to the inning for Kubler in his second opportunity for the Gatemen. 2-run score on a couple of hits. So, with 1 left, we go to the top of the 8th. It's 11-2 Hyannis and the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Ethan Eibe here with another edition of Wareham Walk-Off, and today our guest is Davidson College's Eli Putnam, first baseman for the Gatemen. Eli, it's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get to walking. So first things first, Eli, let's look at off-the-field stuff. What's something that's brought you joy this week outside of baseball?
Joy this week outside of baseball? We had 2 off days this week. I got to spend some of the time out on the beach. Spent really my whole day. I guess it was Thursday. I spent in the Sandwich, checking out some cool spots there, going to the gardens, getting some free time, relaxing. It's nice and chill.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, first year in the Cape, you were the Atlantic 10 home run champion this year. What is the transition to the Cape been like for you?
I mean, it's a step up in terms of competition from the A10 and our usual opponents, but I feel like it hasn't been too crazy. It's still 60 feet 6 inches, 90 feet between the bases. It's still baseball at the end of the day.
Awesome stuff. Our last question for you, Eli, as we get ready to touch home. What's something that you want more people to know about Eli Putnam?
I think a lot of people wouldn't know something about me is that I'm a really big chef. I love to cook when I'm at school. I cook for all my roommates. Just last night made a nice tomato mozzarella gnocchi. You know, that's one of my biggest passions outside of baseball.
What's your favorite thing you like to cook?
I love pizza, Neapolitan pizza.
Ooh, okay, maybe we'll have to chef that up sometime.
Maybe. I'd love to. Yep.
All right, this has been Wareham Walk-Off. Eli Putnam, as always, a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
All right.
11-2 Hyannis on 15 hits. Gatemen just 5 and looking to produce more as they want to continue their hitting ways from yesterday after snapping a 5-game losing streak, and it's also their final meeting with the Hyannis Harborhawks. On the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV, I'm Kyle Marchak with Ethan Eibe. Top 8 we go. Gatemen down 9, and Braxton Pearson on the bump for his second inning of relief. The lefty from Angelo State cruised through the side last time with a walk, a caught stealing, a strikeout, and another strikeout, so he faced the minimum. Colby Turner, Murph Gray, Jacob Gerald, 2-3-4 to start things off. First pitch to the righty out of Michigan, Turner. And the heater is a called strike on the inside edge, 0-1. Oh, 1 deal and a curveball low. A lot has happened today in order for the Gatemen to find themselves in this deficit. Pitching, once again struggling, and Ethan, right now it's just a fight for getting a good start out of someone. Darren Horn, 1 2/3, 5 earned runs.
It's been an unfortunate trend that's continued here tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Pearson. Swung on and hammered out to left field, curling over at the gap, at the wall, and making a striding grab is Tate for out number 1.
Now Turner really pieced that one, just unfortunately to one of the deeper parts of the ballpark.
So allowed out number 1, and Murph Gray steps up. He's back to hitting ways, broken 0 for 8 yesterday with a 2-hit day, and he's got a knock this afternoon as well. He's 1 for 3. One away, bases empty, top 8. The Gatemen down 11-2. Pearson deals to the righty at the dish. Swinging a line drive, left side, under the glove of the third baseman, DiTalo, and into left field for a base hit. Little soft serve knock, and a 1-out single for Murph Gray.
It's one of those cases of getting a little bit jammed and not hitting it as hard as he could, but finding that perfect little hole on the left side.
2-hit day for him again, back-to-back multi-hit games. And he turns it over to Jacob Gerald, who could really use a hit right now. He's 0 for 3. Couple of fly balls and then an error from the shortstop last time around. He's got a runner on. Lefty on righty. And the offer. Swing and a sky-high pop-up into the dead zone to the right side of foul territory. Struggling to find it is the first baseman Cavill, and the ball drops fair. Gerald's safe at first. Gray moves to second, and that might be scored a base hit.
Yeah, that's another instance of a first baseman losing a ball on the lights. We saw Putnam happen to him. Luckily, the ball was foul, but this time the ball landing to the right of Cavill in fair ground. And
Kane Kepley was right there behind him. He tried to shovel that ball to first base, and he almost got Gerald.
Got to hustle. But it's back-to-back hits with one away for the Gatemen. 2 runners on, and Reese Chapman steps up. Hitless in 2 tries. He also got hit by a pitch today. Lefty-lefty battle, and the first offer's upstairs. 1-0.
They do give an error to Cabell.
I don't know if that follows the rule book, but... One ball, no strikes. And the offer. Big curveball, and it falls into the zone. Strike 1. So with Horn going just 5 outs today for the Gatemen pitchers, they've used 4 arms out of the pen already. 1-1 deal. Another curveball, this time it's ball 2. And this has been the struggle for the Gatemen since the All-Star break. They have not had a starter go more than 2 2/3. 2-1 deal from Pearson. And a fastball is cut on and missed. Way late is Chapman. 2-2 count. Bullpen had to carry 7 2/3 on the 29th, 5 1/3 on the 31st. 2-2 pitch with 1 away. Pearson lets it fly, and a curveball is topped foul. Staying alive is Reese Chapman. Bullpen had to carry 5 2/3 on August 1st, and then they had to carry 7 2/3 in their win yesterday. So that's 4 straight games where the bullpen had to throw a combined 5 innings or more. 2-2 pitch to Chapman. Swing and a miss. Beat him with the heat upstairs. A strikeout for out number 2.
And you know, Kyle, that's just going to catch up to you after a while.
And down this home stretch, too. Tomorrow will be their 5th consecutive game to close out this regular season. They get an off day. And then the postseason begins. But even with that off day, I mean, it's not to say that the bullpen still won't be a little fatigued from all this work that they're doing. Eli Putnam digs in. 2 runners on, 2 away. And the first pitch is an off-speed that floats in there. Belt high on the inside edge. Strike 1. Gray singled. He's on second. Error. And Jacob Gerald's aboard over at first. 0-1 pitch. Popped up right side, trailing over to foul territory, and this one will find the seats. No balls and 2 strikes, and it's the top of the 8th here at McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts. Sam White replacing Antonio Jimenez in the lineup. So he stands on deck. No balls, 2 strikes. The southpaw delivers. Swung on in line, down the right field line. It is off the base of the wall. Kepley couldn't get it. Murph Gray will hobble on home. Rounding third and coming home as well as Gerald. And standing up at third with a triple is Eli Putnam. His 3rd triple of the year.
How about that? Just going the opposite way with that drive. An excellent effort by Kepley, but he just couldn't get there in time. And how about that for Putnam? He's one of just 4 players with multiple triples this year.
And a league-leading 3rd as he punches that one the other way and off the wall. Mind you, it's 358 down the right field line. So with 2 away, the Gatemen tack on 2 runs. And it's 11-4. They're back within 7. Looking to add on is Sam White. First AB today. Lefty on lefty with a runner on third. The pitch. And a big looping curveball high for ball 1. Nate Early on deck. He's hit well today. 1-0 and the offer. There's the heater. Belt high inside edge and a called strike. One count. Deep breath from Pearson and the offer. Curveball tapped foul. Strike 2. Sam White, an all-star for the Gatemen. One ball, two strikes, two outs, top 8. The pitch from Pearson. And fouled off again. One ball, two strikes. Pearson from the stretch. 1-2 offer. Swing and a line drive out to right field, but Kepley doesn't have to move to make the catch. Couple of loud pieces to close the inning. How about Eli Putnam's 2-out double? He cleared the bases a little bit with that one, and he'll be left stranded there. On 2 hits, the Gatemen plate 2 runs. They're down 7 as we head to the home half of the 8th here at Hyannis on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
I couldn't get out, so they stopped the game. Umpires actually had to peel me out of the fence. They had to pull the fence.
And an incredible guest for us today on the pod, in the words of the great Jason Stark, writer, broadcaster, and distinguished former major leaguer, Doug Glanville. Doug, it is terrific to have you on today.
So, any favorite ballparks that you visited while you were in the Cape?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you got to love Spillane Field with like the all dirt infield or whatever you had going there, the darkened dirt. Let me see. Well, I didn't like Bourne because one time I slid for a ball. I was doing that cool move where the ball's up against the fence and you slide around it and then pop up and throw. And then I slid and went through the fence. So my leg got caught in the fence and I couldn't do it. I had to roll the ball to the right fielder and I couldn't get out. So they stopped the game. Umpires actually had to peel me out of the fence and to pull the fence.
Oh my God.
So that wasn't a good memory. So Bourne, the fog always rolled in there.
Bottom 8 at McKeon Park. Final visit to Hyannis for the Wareham Gatemen in the 2024 regular season. They head back home tomorrow for their final game in this regular season campaign. But for now, it's their last road trip. And who knows? They could be going back on the road as the postseason comes back around. Before we dig into those postseason hypotheticals, though, Jake Kubler, second inning of relief as he takes over here in the bottom of the 8th. He faces the back end of the order, 5-6-7 for Hyannis, who leads it 11-4. 2 runs came in, top 8 for the Gatemen. First pitch from the righty is upstairs. Left-handed bat of Eddie Pelk at the dish right now. He's 1 for 2. Cannon Peebles, Eddie Saldivar on deck. Next pitch, down low. 2-0 count. Gatemen a game and a half behind from Hyannis right now. And if they don't win today, they're making it difficult to make it back up to the 2 spot in the West, which is where you would have home field advantage in the postseason. 2-0 pitch, and a fastball's fouled away, strike 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, that 5-game losing skid just came at the worst time. And you're battling for seeding. You lost your position to host in the first round of the playoffs. So a 1-game, wild card-esque kind of a playoff.
They would have to chase down Katuit. 2-1 deal. Swing and a miss. Got him out in front on the slider. 2-2. First batter here, bottom 8, 11-4. Hyannis at the dish, and they lead it with 15 hits today. Kubler's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the hard stuff for the inside edge this time, and there's 1 down. Well, I have good news. Katuit did lose their first game today, but they were one of many that had multiple games. And right now, they lead it 7-3 as they head to the bottom of the 9th in Falmouth. So let's hope for a Commodores comeback, as that would help the Gatemen's case. 1 away, and the lefty Peebles at the dish. The Tennessee catcher watches a fastball down the middle for strike 1.
Well, the Commodores are no longer a part of the playoff conversation, but they could perhaps play spoiler.
0-1 count, bases empty. The pitch, cut on and missed. Found the hole in his bat. And there's strike 2. 0-2 deal. Simmers up high. So with that loss, Kituitt has the same point total as the Gatemen, same exact record. But if they win in the next 10 minutes or so, they'll be back on top. Next pitch swung on and clubbed down the left field line. It's trailing in foul territory, and it is in the grass for a foul ball. Staying alive is Peebles. So let's talk about those hypotheticals even. If Kituitt wins today, then the Gatemen, the only chance that they do find themselves, or if they do win this next game, I believe the Gatemen are out of it, right? They would not be able to get a 2 spot.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So let's hope for a Falmouth comeback. Bottom 9 there, and it's 7-3. Kituitt leads it. Here it's a 1-2 count with 1 away, and Peebles at the dish. Base is empty, bottom 8. 11-4, Hyannis leads it. The pitch to Hyannis' catcher. Swing and a line drive out to right center field. Trailing to his left is Lippy, the defensive substitution, and he makes the catch. Michael Lippy tracking it down in the gap for out number 2.
We've seen a lot more in-game substitutions as of late for Ryan Smythe, just trying to inject different guys into the ballgame, different situations, then get their bats up to the plate in hopes of sparking something.
Eddie Saldivar, the last hope to spark something offensively for Hyannis here in the bottom of the 8th. And again, the only hitless guy in this offense for Hyannis. That's kind of just been the story. 2 away, righty on lefty, the pitch from Kubler. The slider tumbles in there. Well, Smythe, second year for the Gatemen, first roster that he's recruited in its entirety. And I think he's taken pride in really trying to set the tone for them. A 1 pitch, a fastball swung on and grounded softly to the left side. Picking it up and making the play over at short is hot, and that is out number 3. How about a 1-2-3 frame for Kubler? So with that, it's the last chance for the Gatemen. 11-4, top 9 coming at you from Hyannis and the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Ethan Eibe here with another edition of Wareham Walk-Off, and today it's right-handed pitcher Cole Lehman out of Lehigh University. Cole, It's great to have you. Let's get going.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you even find your way to Wareham?
There was an old player at Lehigh a couple years ago, Mason Black. He played for Brewster. I think Coach Smythe was an assistant there, so there might have been some type of connection there. Other than that, it's always a goal of mine to be up here, and my coach at Lehigh made it happen, so I'm very excited to be here.
Things that you are working on this summer.
Yeah, I think I've found success in it in one of my starts, just kind of throwing the fastball in. That was a huge thing. Coach Luxa said that to us day one. Fastball in and change-ups to righties, so we've been trying to work on those things and, just keep my stuff working.
There you go. So, over at Lehigh, you are an economics major with a Spanish minor. Now, I'd love to know why the choice in both the major and the minor?
Well, I had a great economics teacher in high school, Mr. Wagner, and then Spanish minor, I just did some traveling as a kid. My family, we went to Cuba. I played in Puerto Rico for a week.
How are you enjoying the Cape League experience so far?
Oh, it's great. I love all the guys, love the coaches, love my host family. Tate, I live with Tate, love Tate.
That you think more people should know about Cole Lehman?
Well, I have a special talent of finding 4-leaf clovers.
Really?
So that's something. But try to be energetic, try to bring good energy every day. At school, something I'm big on is trying to help the younger guys, do the best they can and grow into the best pitchers they can be. So it's a big part of my game and who I am. So, yeah.
Cole Lehman, always looking to pass it along. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
11-4, Hyannis leads it as we head to the top of the 9. 3 outs to work with for Wareham's offense, who's down 7 and looks to come back and continue winning ways with just 2 games to go in the regular season. It'll be Nate Early, Billy Parker, and Johan Byram Hott, who took over offensively. So 8-9-1 due up for the Gatemen. Good part of the order to work with here, but they do face a new arm. It's the righty Josh Ock out of the bullpen for Hyannis, and he's had some pretty good stuff this year. 7 games, and he has yet to give up a run.
I believe we saw him last time out. We were here on July 5th. He pitched against the Cowboys, against the Gatemen.
Oh,
it's
see,
okay.
See where your mind's at?
Yep, that's unfortunate.
8 2/3 innings pitched for this righty out of southern Mississippi. And he's going to take on probably the best hitter in this lineup today, at least, in Nate Early. Hit a home run back in the 2nd, singled in the 5th, and then walked aboard in the 7th. So 2 for 2 today. Righty on lefty to start off this inning.
Early's had himself a nice day. It's been a disjointed effort by this Gateman offensively, but, Early's 2nd home run of the season, and it was no cheapie either.
No. 410-foot moonshot to right field. The Gatemen scored 2 runs in the second, and then 2 more just an inning ago. Meanwhile, it was the starting pitching and really just the pitching in general that struggled for Wareham. They allowed 8 runs in the first 2 innings, 1 more in the 5th, and then 2 more in the 7th. Here they are down 11-4. Just 7 hits for Wareham today to 15 from Hyannis. Nate Early to welcome Josh Ock into this ballgame. The Hyannis right-hander takes the bump for his 8th appearance. First pitch to Early, and it's a heater at the letters for ball 1. Had a good year with Southern Mississippi. 2.81 ERA in 11 games. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. And a curveball's cut on and missed. 1-1. 16 innings, just 5 earned runs in his first year with Southern Mississippi. 1 ball, 1 strike. He kicks and fires. Swing and a miss on the high heat. 1-2. First batter, top 9. Last chance for Wareham's offense to claw back here. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chasing the high heat on back-to-back offers there, and Early's down on strikes to start the 9th.
His eyes just lit up on those 2 pitches. It's so difficult to lay off.
Now, Ock's got this short arm action that kind of fires low. You think that makes it harder to pick up that fastball that just kind of rises above their bat?
Yeah, I think so. It hides the ball a little bit more. That extra half second or whatever it may be can make all the difference.
Billy Parker, 4th AB today. He's 0 for 2. And the first pitch is outside, and it rolls all the way to the backstop. Michael Lippy replacing him in the lineup. Was a defensive substitution last inning. And the second pitch down the middle. Michael Lippy, the right-handed bat out of Louisville. Came into center last inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, bases empty. And the offer upstairs. Lippy, a 167 hitter through 24 games. 3 extra base hits, though. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Here's the pitch from Ock. Swinging a line drive to right, sinking quickly, diving and making a spectacular catch is Kepley. Are you kidding me? That's out number 2.
What can't this guy do? With the bat, with the base running, with the glove now, Kepley is just that all-around kind of player you want on your team. What a play that was. Charging in, laying out. Man.
So it's down to Byram Hott. Hott through 7 games, 1 hit. Man, a second one would be big here. With 2 down, here's the first pitch. And a slider runs inside. Hott in his 2nd season with the Gatemen. Last year in 8 games, he hit for a .350 clip. Now he's going to Louisville. 1-0 with 2 away, bases are empty. The pitch is fouled straight back, strike 1. Hott can walk. He's got 3 this year. 1-1 count. And the offer. Curveball swung on and grounded through the hole and into left field for a base hit. Byram Hott breaks the cold streak. With 2 away, there's a runner aboard for the Gatemen here in the top of the 9th.
Oh, good to see that it's going to take more than just a 1-2-3 to put these Gatemen away. Nice job by Hott turning on that one.
So now it's up to Colby Turner to keep the carousel going. Singled in his first at-bat since then. Pair of flyouts and a ground out. 1 for 4. He's got Byram Hott on first with 2 away, and the Gatemen are down 7 here in the top of the 9th at Hyannis. First pitch. Down the pipe and a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. As it cools down under the night sky of Cape Cod. 0-1. Runner goes, and the pitch is outside. No throw. Hot to second with 2 away. One ball, one strike. Two outs, and the pitch to Turner. Swing and a pop-up right side. It will rainbow out of play. Strike 2. Turner working away. Byram hot on second. The Gatemen down 7 runs, top of the 9th. One, 2. Just outside. 2-2 count. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner on second. Turner, right foot, now left foot as he ambles into the right-handed batter's box. A high-handed set as he's ready. The pitch from Josh Ock. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball on the outside edge. It's strikeout number 9 for Hyannis pitchers tonight. And that's really a big part of the story. Only 8 hits for the Gatemen to talk about compared to Hyannis' 15 as they win it by a final score of 11-4. And Ethan, it was the 8 runs through the first 2 innings that really did the Gatemen in.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's another instance of, it's not going to be every day when you are able to come back from such a deficit to have a dramatic win, Getting off to a hot start is super important, and the Gatemen just have not been able to do that over this last week's worth of ball games here. And when you go down early to a team like Hyannis, who has dominant pitching, dominant defense, they just take care of the rest from there.
So with that, the Gatemen's playoff position should be locked in. They will be the 3 seed and will most likely take on the Cotuit Kettleers in the first round of the playoffs. But that doesn't mean that this regular season is over. They can always exchange pleasantries in their final game of the regular season tomorrow when they take on Falmouth. So as the Gatemen move on to 21-17-1, we look to return to winning ways tomorrow. For our entire broadcasting crew here today, Joseph Patrick Henry, the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Madison Walker, and of course my broadcast partner in crime, Ethan Eibe. I'm Kyle Marchak saying so long from McKeon Park in Hyannis, where the final score is 11-4. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. pregame on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.